In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. This is episode 1219. And it's a bonus show, but it's a Wednesday bonus show. So this is a very special Wednesday bonus show. Everyone watching right now should give us a thumbs up. You should make sure you're still subscribed. If you weren't subscribed before, you should be now. And we've got Dusty the Cockatiel joining us right there. He's a beautiful bird. So Dusty's... We can do full screen Dusty also.
There you go.
Dusty's being bashful right now.
For those of you wondering, Ben and I, our pronouns are he.
Our pronouns are Michael Jackson.
He.
Yeah, give the stream a like, and we're trying to meet our goal, which we're doing pretty well with.
Tonight's the night.
Yep, tonight's the night. We must meet this goal. We would appreciate all of the support. I'm going to put that tip link in the chat right now for everyone there to start chucking the donos our way so we can make this happen. I went to a concert last night with some people, including Adam and Vosh. It was a fun time, but I got trashed and I slept most of the day and I still feel tired. It's
Adam
rough.
from your movie Sucks?
Yeah.
We love Adam. We love Vosh.
Yeah, Voosh. Voosh is great. Yeah, it's cool that, you know, when you're used to just interacting with people on the internet, it's weird when it's real life and you're hanging out in real life. You know? Like it's like, "Hey, I see you through a screen all the time."
I think I got used to that many moons ago because I've been online for so long. Like I met Scott from online like 20 years ago. Scott Scott Henson. I always pronounce it handsome on accident. I've known him for 20 freaking years. But he used to be one of my Bucks friends. Then we'd hang out all the time doing our wrestling stuff.
Well, that happened between...
Beautiful birds say that Jared is a fucking idiot.
Yeah. You know, that it does happen. So Egghead's all like antsy. He's got ants in his pants right now because Jared made a video about him, and we'll cover it later. He was in my DMs like, "I'd like to come on to address what Jared said about me in that video that he made." And I just didn't.
How could Jared do that?
Yeah. How could
Leave our
Jared
poor
do that?
Egghead alone.
Well, broken clocks and all, right? Cheers, everybody. Oh, look at it. Wow!
He capitalized it the second time. You're in trouble, Ben. You triggered Egghead.
So we got a little bit of this left, and I'll be willing to get back into this for every $50 level that we get to. So once we hit 600, I'll do my first one.
That's the little scrote toe Evan Williams almost gone.
Yeah.
Might polish that bottle off this week if we get the donos.
Yes, and we do need the donos so we can meet the goal. So
Tonight's the last night, and then we're gonna go on a bit of a little vacay.
Yeah. So let's we should check out the stuff about Trump. So Trump is about to catch his third indictment, his second federal one, and it's in relation to election interference and January 6th and all that. So let's check this out.
DOJ Special Counsel Jack Smith is formally targeting Donald Trump for criminal indictment over trying to steal the 2020 election. Any such indictment would be Donald Trump's third overall and is especially significant for three reasons. One, this would be the first ever indictment of Trump for actions taken as president. The pending DOJ indictment of Trump right now, of course, is all about taking classified material after he left office. And that New York case is about what he did, allegedly, in 2016 before assuming office. Second reason this is big tonight, while no indictment, of course, is a small matter, there are signs that DOJ is now targeting Trump for the most serious potential crimes yet. Allegations that he, to put it straight up, operated as a criminal president, abused powers, and tried to end democracy itself. No.
Yeah, and it is historic, but I'm like, whatever until we see, until he gets convicted. If he actually gets convicted, I'll be like, whoa.
He was always historic as president. He was the first president to win with zero political or military history. Like that's historic in its own.
That is
true. He comes in, he's just a businessman, and American business is not known for its ethics these days. You know, there's too many.
He didn't have, yeah. I mean, he had all these fraud. He had all these scams, like the university and all that stuff. So
even with the scams, like there's huge companies that would rather pay a fine than operate legally. The fines are way cheaper than the money they make operating illegally. It's
no
crazy.
modern president has faced this kind of potential case since Richard Nixon, who, of course, then scored a partisan pardon from his successor to avoid what was seen as a likely prosecution and possible incarceration. Third reason this is really big. If DOJ brings this case, it won't turn on Trump and his personal valet or long-lost executives or lawyers from the pre-presidency or the business side of the operation. Any conspiracy charges, if they are brought, and I'm telling you tonight, Jack Smith is targeting Donald Trump and potentially co-conspirators. Any such charges would seem to lead to the powerful co-conspirators who served Trump in that critical 2020 stretch as he tried several plots with the same goal. A coup to end democracy, to overthrow the incoming administration of then President-elect Biden. We're talking about the several plots that have been exposed by journalistic investigations and government evidence that we and others have been tracking for 2 years now, some of which you see on your screen. And none of these have been federally charged yet. So this is a huge deal. And the first indication that Smith targeted Trump came from the target himself, Donald.
You know, they did have that January 6th commission, and at the end they did recommend prosecution. So they have every reason to go for it, but can they make it stick?
Trump now posting online today that he was told he was a target by the DOJ and the Smith probe on Sunday, and that he gets 4 days to report to the grand jury, which almost always means an arrest and indictment. Trump referring to the fact that to get this letter is basically a precursor to being arrested, and that is true. Now, the existence of this target letter has now been independently confirmed. And beyond the customary notification about the right to face the grand jury, it also states something that nobody wants to hear if it's directed at you, that the DOJ, through its voluminous process and its grand jury interviews and its FBI probes and its subpoenas and its searches, now has evidence linking him, and the big him here is Donald Trump, linking him to a crime. So this is a big deal. And if you're saying, okay, Ari, I've heard about indictments before, I've heard about accountability before, I'm tired of all this, that's fine. You could be tired. You could tune out. You could turn it off. This stuff takes time. Now, whether you like it or not, presidents, while in office, are basically completely legally protected from these DOJ probes. So yes, it takes time, but now here, within under a year of Special Counsel Smith's appointment, you have one indictment on the Mar-a-Lago stuff, which is post-presidency, and now you have the targeting of Trump for the big enchilada, the coup that tried to steal more than your vote, tried to steal your democracy. So, hey, if it's not going fast enough for you, so be it. And any defendant is presumed innocent legally. But I'm telling you, this target letter is for the biggest charges yet. And here's how the news broke today.
We have some significant breaking news. Perhaps the most significant indictment may be coming Donald Trump's way.
Donald Trump on Truth Social says that on Sunday night, he received a Justice Department letter.
We have some breaking news coming in. Former President Donald Trump putting out a statement, instantly making his legal troubles once again the top issue in his 2024 campaign to retake the White House.
Trump now bracing for 3 trials. And the process here can actually be gleaned from some of those other cases.
Yeah, that's 3 trials. Are they all going to be at the same time or back to back to back? It's just unheard of.
I mentioned
They're in different courts, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. 2 of them would be federal, and 1 is not a federal case. It's in New York.
Karl Rove was kind of the mind behind George Bush's successful presidency.
His campaigns.
Yeah. Who do you think is the mind behind this witch hunt campaign? Do we know? Does somebody know? Is somebody watching know? Who is the mind behind the witch hunt? Because the witch hunt is a brilliant campaign when you're being targeted for all the illegal stuff that you have done as previous president, and using the witch hunt as this cover for, oh no, this is, you guys got to support me or they'll come for you next. It's nuts.
Classified documents, also overseen by Special Counsel Smith, who informed Trump that he was the target on May 19th. And 3 weeks later, the indictment came down, if you're looking for a recent example of.
I love these courtroom sketches.
How long does this take, or can it take? Now, 3 weeks is fast by legal standards. Smith has only been in this job for 8 months. Now, DOJ keeps its own timeline, but something may be in the air tonight, because we can also report the first ever charges against Trump's fraudulent electors. Remember then? Remember all of them? 16 people now indicted for that plot in Michigan. First time that's ever happened. Separate probe, and we have more on that state process for you later tonight. It's clear prosecutors are following the evidence that was both exposed and then sort of emphasized and narrated by the January 6th committee. And again, there was the series of evidence that expanded the understanding of how broad the plots were, as we've shown you here, at least 8 designed to thwart the transition to President-elect Biden. And about 6 of them, roughly, carry at least legal exposure, which prosecutors, state or federal, might charge. Again, if they're doing their jobs, which they would only charge if they have the facts and the evidence on a nonpartisan basis. Now, as of tonight, no federal charges have hit anyone for those coup plots yet, but the target letter does suggest they are coming. Another way to say that.
So the reason they keep saying target is because he hasn't received any charges. This target letter tells him that he is under their
he's being targeted.
Targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in their eyes, but they haven't charged yet. They said it's about a 4-day window usually.
Yeah, and
for
they
charges to fall after a target letter.
Yeah, and they said he could come and speak to the grand jury, which would be a really bad move.
Yeah.
Is, unless something else interferes or intercedes, as Trump said, and as lawyers say, and as DOJ precedent shows, you would expect charges to come after this target letter, although we are not reporting charges yet. But it's all coming in the context of the evidence that came through, and the Trump lawyers even admitting parts of these plots.
That was part of the process to make sure there were alternate electors. Everything that was done illegally by the Trump legal team, according to the rules and under the leadership of Rudy Giuliani.
Young Trill Fridge.
Yeah, thank you, Zook. Is this guy talking from The Sopranos?
Did he say Trill Fridge?
Young Trill Fridge.
There's a race of aliens in Star Trek called the Trill.
I think his reference of Trill was probably from Bun B. Keep it Trill and Gangsta.
Probably.
He had over 100 congressmen and senators on Capitol Hill ready to implement the sweep. The remedy was for Vice President Pence's, the quarterback.
There's a clock tower dream house right behind him.
In the Green Bay sweep.
It's not green and black, though.
It could be easily repainted.
Votes back to the 6 battleground states.
Do you realize you are describing a coup?
No.
If there was a counter Cobra, like a King Cobra,
like a liquid Cobes,
would he live in like a lighthouse
He'd live in a clock. No, Liquid. He
Gothic
would
lighthouse.
No, Liquid Cobes would have all the stuff Cobes wants to have. So he'd live in the Clock Tower Dream House. He'd be a rock star. He'd be an insanely great guitar player and singer. He'd be a gourmet chef. You know, all this stuff.
There has since been indicted. He awaits trial from the fallout over his allegedly illegal defiance of the congressional probe. Mr. Epstein is still overseeing other lawyers on Trump's legal team. He has appeared on this and other programs before. He has not done his...
He would also be in a polyamorous relationship with Ellen Knight and Alicia Rhodey.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I don't know about a Liquid Cobes.
Many interviews lately, the reports are both those individuals have faced the long arm of the law, including having phones seized in Epstein's case. Now, it was an attempted coup. We know that. This elector fraud under scrutiny. We know that continued all the way up to January 6th with GOP senators trying to put those fraudulent election materials in the
I haven't
hand.
been watching for too long, but you guys have never failed to make me smile. Keep rocking
Yeah.
on. As long as you keep streaming, I'll keep watching.
Thank you.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you. $20 before we do the first shot of the night.
We do it all for the smiles.
VP Pence.
Sweet Boy Delivery Service.
You can see in this schematic that we made, basically, an actual text they thought would remain secret of a VP Pence aide trying to prevent the elector fraud and forgeries to be handed to Pence. That was all right around there, middle of the day. That was one more thwarted scheme, as then Trump supporters turned to the physical insurrection. And that now indicted sedition looks even worse with this evidence that I've told you about, because we know that Trump first summoned those people to Washington for what became the sedition on the very night that his other plot to seize the voting machines failed after this infamously unhinged meeting, which we now know Jack Smith is
Missed
also
it by that much.
He was sending the military to seize the voting machines.
Yeah.
And it failed.
Yep.
What they were proposing, I thought was nuts. Flynn screamed at me that I was a quitter and everything, kept on standing up and turning around and screaming at me.
Sidney Powell was fighting. Mike Flynn was fighting.
You did get to see the president without an appointment. We did.
I didn't understand how they.
Sidney Powell. Remember her?
She's
Remember her?
always wearing animal print clothing.
Yeah, she was the only person that could make Rudy Giuliani look halfway normal. And they had her and him together in all these indictments. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and
This
she's
almost
like
Amazonian.
She's like
jungle
6
woman.
foot. Yeah, she's like 6'2" and like covered in animal print clothing.
Prowl on the Powell.
People
Powell
shouting
on
at
the
each
Prowler.
other, hurling insults at each other.
And I stayed in the cabinet room, which is kind of cool. I really like that. All by myself.
Giuliani.
We were pushing back and we were asking one simple question as a general matter. Where is the evidence?
Now, that meeting matters because it was illicit, which is why the participants literally snuck into the White House. Some of the proposals were criminal, why even Giuliani warned the plan would land them in prison. And that's why all of this is under criminal investigation today, with a new warning for Trump that he's targeted for.
Giuliani warned that the plan would land them in prison?
Allegedly.
I thought that's what he just said.
Yeah.
Giuliani seems like the type of guy that would flip immediately on Trump if given any sort of like reason to. He does not seem like loyalty is his key.
There are multiple pictures of Sidney Powell wearing animal print clothing, like at multiple different times, and different clothing too. She's just really into the animal print, apparently.
I feel like if the Tiger King wasn't gay, he could become her pen pal and she would get him out of prison, but he's gay, so there's no point. It'd make a great couple if he wasn't
Others
gay.
have gone to prison for Jan 6. We know that. Trump fans, militia leaders. But the apparent people at the top have not yet been held accountable. Now the question is, what does it mean tonight, amidst all this, when special counsel Jack Smith sends a coup warning like this to former President Trump?
All right, here's Trump's been doing a lot of interviews. I have clips from two of them. Here's one.
President Trump told me it was Chris Christie who recommended the 45th president elevate Christopher Wray to FBI director. And in retrospect, it was, quote, probably a mistake, President Trump said. Here's Trump's reaction to Christopher Wray's Judiciary Committee testimony Thursday in part 2 of my interview with the 45th president.
So Christopher Wray, the other day, in front of the judiciary leadership, is defending the FBI, saying, no, there's no politics at the FBI.
Well, look, the FBI has become tremendously political. DOJ is weaponized. It's not, and FBI is weaponized too. I know other people in the FBI, they're incredible. The agents, they're incredible. So I hate to say the FBI, because you have people in the FBI that are very angry. When Comey went after Hillary Clinton, didn't go after her, when he mentioned her crimes and then she's been exonerated.
It was a matter.
They were going to have a strike in the FBI, in my opinion. That's what I heard and that's what I read, and I really believe that.
That they're going to have a strike?
And that's why he had to come out and say, keep it going a little while before he tried to exonerate her. But if you remember that stupid press conference that he had where he talked about all of her so-called crimes, and he said, but she's not guilty of this, she's not guilty of that, she's not guilty. All he had to do is say she's not guilty, and people wouldn't have known what happened. But he liked to grandstand, so he wanted to be on television for an hour. And the FBI, the real people of the FBI, not the corrupt ones.
The real
because
people.
Most of them aren't corrupt. They're great.
The real housewives of the FBI.
Yeah, the people who like Trump are the real FBI people. Yeah.
The full-blooded Italians.
The agents and a lot of the people in the FBI, they watched that too. They thought it was terrible. And I believe they were going to literally strike. And then what happened is Comey said, if you remember, he'd exonerate her. Then he had to go back and says, well, no, I'm going to redo it. And it was a whole mess. But the people in the FBI are not that way. But the top people have been so bad. When you have McCabe and you have Lisa Page and the whole group, Strzok and Page. That was a wonderful couple.
No, they were all
when you had all of these people with the insurance policy, what happens, darling? What happens if he doesn't? What happens if he wins? Oh, it won't happen.
I remember.
But if he does, remember this, but if he does, we have an insurance policy. Well, the insurance policy is we're going to get him out. How bad, when you see that, now, if I didn't fire Comey, and remember, some people said, oh, you should have fired him. I fired him very early, very, very early. You know, a lot of people, some very smart people that you know very well, said, I made a mistake in firing Comey because that was what upset the apple cart. Now they say it was one of the greatest instinctual moves that they've ever seen because the insurance policy was they were going to get me out. They were going to try and get me out by making fake charges and fake crimes. Who would have thought this could have happened to our country? Who would have thought? It's not even possible. Now, the FBI has tremendous problems of credibility. The DOJ is weaponized like I've never seen before. I mean, they come after me on boxes and they can't find drugs. You know how many cameras they have?
What?
Opposite the...
They can't find drugs? I never knew that was a part of this.
Front door.
Is he setting the stage for a charge that we didn't know was going to come out?
He said they came after me on boxes and couldn't find any drugs, is what he said.
What? Is he slipping up right now that he's about to get drug charges too?
I don't know.
The situation.
Like he would know stuff that he's done that we don't know publicly.
Of course.
Right? Has he been running drugs with Joe Rogan for 20 years? What's going on?
These drugs were the cocaine. Now I understand they have many other forms of drugs. They know who this was. They know the person. It's impossible.
Now I understand they have many other forms of drugs.
He's talking about the cocaine bag that was in the White House at the beginning of this month.
Yeah.
So that's where the drugs came up. I just had to piece that together.
It's nonsense.
Can they not know
Well,
the
the
person?
Secret Service said that they are ending the investigation of the cocaine found at the White House, and they didn't have any fingerprints, and they said that they cannot identify whose cocaine it was.
You know, I've gotten to know the Secret Service really well, okay? And I can't speak more highly of people. These are incredible people. And I believe that they know everything. They're really smart and really good at what they do. And I don't think it's possible for bags of cocaine to be left in a certain area by the Situation Room. I'm not talking about, 5 blocks away. the Situation Room, where you decide on war, where you decide on nuclear.
War. So
And they
are
have bags
tourists allowed in that area where the cocaine was
I
found?
don't think so. I don't think so. I think only people that have
I
strong
don't think
passes
so.
or family members are able to go through those doors. It's very interesting. I was much nicer to Biden in speeches and all. I actually was criticized by some people. I respect the office of the presidency, and not that I was perfect with him, but I could have been much tougher. The last few weeks I've been very nasty and very tough and very truthful. He's a corrupt man. He's a corrupt president. He's grossly incompetent. And the reason I ask, because they actually indicted an opponent who was the president of the United States. I got indicted. I said, I can't believe it. I got indicted. I could tell you stories of what happened when I went down to New York and when I went down with...
Tell us the stories.
Policemen looking at me and crying. Ted Kennedy.
Yeah, cops were looking at him and crying.
He told me he was a friend of mine, believe it or not. Different sides of the aisle, but he was a friend of mine. He liked me, I liked him. I did him a big favor one time that helped him a lot on something, and he always liked me. And he said to me a long time ago, I was saying, who's the smartest senator? And I won't tell you the answer because I don't particularly like the guy. I said, who's the dumbest? He said, probably Joe. This is Ted Kennedy, he knew them all. I said, what do you mean, Joe? Who's Joe? Joe Biden, he's the dumbest. And so
he's talking. Ted Kennedy's been dead a long time.
I gotta tell you, he told me. I said, "Who's the smartest?" I don't like the guy, so I won't repeat his name. But then I said, "Who's the dumbest?" And he said, "Joe." And I said, "Joe who?" And he said, "Joe Biden." I said, "Oh, that Joe? Okay, yeah, that Joe. He's the dumbest. Okay." This is so funny. That's Teddy Kennedy, though. That's Teddy Kennedy. He says Joe Biden is the dumbest. He's so dumb.
He said Joe Biden was the dumbest senator.
Years ago, that's right. He said he was the dumbest. I said, who's the dumbest? He said, probably Joe. He said he's hale and hearty and well-met personality. But you go to policy or you go to taxes or anything that's complicated, he doesn't have a clue. This is stuff that he told me years ago. Who would have thought this guy was going to become president? But in prime time, he wasn't very good.
Was it a mistake to put Christopher Wray there? I mean, obviously the FBI is not following any of the things that you're talking about.
Sadly, it probably was. He was recommended very strong.
He was like, he told me this years ago. It's like, yeah, he's been dead for like 14 years. So, yeah, he had to have told it to you years ago.
Sultan of Swing says, let them have a quiz on any subject and Biden destroys this fool. Then they can have a bike race. Trump was never a senator, so he's never going to be up for grabs when it comes to dumbest senator.
True.
Now, if they were having a dumbest president contest, then we could start voting.
Strongly by Chris Christie, who's, a sad case. I mean, I watch him. He's a sad case.
Well, he's in this race, he said, just to take you down.
Well, I know. And you know how he's doing? He's at 1%, and he probably won't even make the debate stage. No, Chris is...
Well, you might not make it, too, because you're afraid to do it.
He's sad. I mean, I watched him the other day. He said, I built 47 miles of wall. I built over 500 miles of wall. And that's Homeland Security statements.
Was that wall around Mar-a-Lago? Like, where's this wall at?
I want a moat.
Safest border in the history of our country. I built massive miles of wall and was going to put up another 200 miles. Everything was built. They just had to erect it. Would have taken 3 weeks, far beyond my statement about building a wall. I was way over. I mean, what we did was incredible. But between the wall and Mexico, when you say Mexico, I got Mexico. You know what? I got them to pay for 28,000 soldiers on our border. People said, well, Mexico. Well, Mexico did pay. They gave me free of charge 28,000 soldiers.
In a second term, will you shut down the border?
Yeah, I will close up the border except if people come in legally, because we need people to come in. We want people to come in, but we don't want people coming in from mental institutions and from jails.
Why has it been so difficult to get an immigration policy agreed upon?
You have different viewpoints, you have different everything, but I didn't care about immigration policy. I didn't want anyone to come in unless they came in legally.
But let me just circle back on the FBI. There's a conversation underway right now about a complete reform of the FBI and the Department of Justice because of all of these reasons that you mentioned. Take a step back. How should the FBI be reformed For example, the Republicans say, take the headquarters out of Washington, make the headquarters in Alabama. Good idea. And what else do you want to see in terms of a reform of these agencies?
So I had a plan to take down the FBI building and build a brand new building in Washington because I think that the FBI should be somewhat close to DOJ if they're all honest people. They want to move it to a different state. They were going to move it to Virginia, build this, thing. It was going to cost. If you talk about environmentalists, the traffic was massive, et cetera, et cetera. It's already massive.
Well, they want $3.5 billion. They want it to be bigger than the Pentagon.
They want it to be this monster building very far away. I like the idea of it being close to the Justice Department because they work together. To me, and they had the land, they had everything. You could renovate the building or build a new building in that location. There'd be a little bit of turmoil during construction, but not a lot. And that was what I preferred. That's what I was going to do. Mm-hmm. And it would have cost a lot less money, but I liked the FBI being somewhat close to the Department of Justice. I think it was, and I will tell you, the FBI people felt that was good also.
So you don't agree, move it to Alabama with what the Republicans are saying?
I'll move anything to Alabama because I love Alabama. If Alabama wants it.
Nah, you would not be caught dead living in Alabama. Trump would not live in Alabama. He loves it so much.
He loves Alabama. He wants to get that vote, keep that vote.
He's going to win Alabama no matter what.
With a banjo on his knee. Roll Tide. I think Alabama's going to vote Trump just because they agree with his stance on how sexy his daughter is. They love sexy daughters in Alabama.
But I think there's something to be said about the FBI and the Department of Justice or Injustice. Right now it's not the Department, it's the Department of Injustice. I think they have to be, they work together. They could walk across the street. So every time you have to need somebody in court or whatever you're doing, they have to ride an hour and a half or 2 hours in traffic from a place in Virginia that's very far away.
Should FISA be reviewed?
FISA's corrupt. You look at what the FBI did with hundreds and hundreds of cases where they, I could tell you some of the names that everybody hears about, but you look at hundreds of cases and violations. And I'm actually very surprised that the judges.
Just tell me one of the violations is Tiger King, Trump. Tell me they violated Tiger King and you're going to get him off and you're going to let him and Sidney Powell become your new legal counsel.
Get angry about it. You never hear anything about it. FISA was corrupt, the whole system of FISA, the FISA courts, and that the chief judge is there and even the chief judge, that they didn't do something about it. And they never really made a statement about it. They never complained about it. And yet the FBI was caught on many, many occasions. Look at my thing. They signed fake documents having to do with Russia.
Marsha.
Scam.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brad.
What's up, Steve Juicy?
Here's a little more.
What's happening to our country.
He did another town hall, but this time it was on Fox with Sean Hannity hosting it.
Orders or the elections or kinds of things like this where the DOJ has become a weapon for the Democrats.
Trump has basically become Sean Hannity's new bestie. They should start a show called Hannity and Comb Over.
Yep.
An absolute weapon. And it seems that every time my polls, we're leading by a lot. And we're leading by a lot in a place called Iowa. A lot. Not only with the Republicans, but we're leading against Biden.
Oh, my God. The Groypers are in town.
Tremendous amount. They haven't seen anything like it. And they feel, I guess, they want to try and demean and diminish and frighten people, but they don't frighten us because we're going to make America great again. That's all there is. We're going to make our country, Sean, is a mess. You know it better than anybody. Frankly, your reporting is incredible.
I'll be honest, I have never been more fearful of the state of this country than I am right now.
Yeah.
Fearful about the economy, foreign policy, our future, our kids, our grandkids. I've never been this way.
Well, you look at Biden with these leaders, and they're at the top of their game, and they're looking at each other like they don't even believe what's happening. Our country is no longer respected. Think of it. 3 years ago, energy independent, powerful military that was totally rebuilt. The president announced 3 days ago, which he should never have said, probably classified information. Now, what do you think China said?
He's having dinner parties showing people classified information.
Probably classified.
When they hear we have no ammunition. No, it's a very, very sad thing. If you look at the worst border in history, we had the best border in history. We had 3 years ago the best border we've ever had. We built hundreds of miles of wall. We got Mexico free of charge. You know, they say about Mexico. Mexico gave us billions of dollars worth
Then
of...
why did he get all mad when Congress wouldn't approve funding for the wall if Mexico was just going to pay for it?
Soldiers for years, 28,000 soldiers guarding our border. We had the best numbers we've ever had. Today we have, I think, the worst numbers in the world, because I don't think there's any country in the world that would stand for what's happening to us, with millions of people flowing in from, by the way, mental institutions, insane asylums. They don't like me using those names, insane asylums. But we have very bad, very sick people, very ill people coming into our country, prisons and jails all over the world. And it's not the 4 countries that we sort of consider neighbors. It's all over. Last week, we had 129 countries representatives of people that came into our country illegally. And we're losing our country, and we're losing the spirit of our country. But I will tell you, Make America Great Again and MAGA and America First and all of these things that we talk about, there's never been more spirit. Look at this crowd. There's never been more spirit than we have right now. 2024.
That whistle's gonna wake up Dusty. Dusty's been asleep for like 20 minutes now.
I love how birds, when they get tired, can just use their back as a pillow. They can like rest their head on their own back and sleep.
2024 is the most important election that we've ever had. And I used to say it with 2016, and I meant it 100%. But we're going into almost a communistic state, and I think maybe...
Oh my God, we are not.
When you look at what they're doing with, you could call it fascist, you could call it Marxist, you could call it communist. What they're doing, like with the Department of Justice, they've totally weaponized it. It's weaponized.
You can call it Marxist, you can call it fascist.
Not only me.
The truth is just becoming one middle ground, basically. We're having a centralized government. The illusion of parties is dissolving. We're accepting the fact that each party's best interest is just for the corporate big dogs.
Catholics, you see what's happening? Parents at school boards, they're being harassed by the Justice Department, by the FBI. Nobody's ever seen what's happening right now. And we have a guy, the head of this country. It's probably not him, it's people around him. They have people that are vicious and smart and have horrible ideas for our country. So it's really the people, in my opinion, because I don't think this guy can put together 2 sentences. I watched him last night. He's almost incapable of talking. And, you know, we have...
I'm not sure he knows today's Tuesday, sir.
Well, we have a problem. We have the potential of a war beyond the war with Russia and Ukraine, and that would have never happened before. By the way, if I were president, that would have never happened. If I were president, Ukraine and Russia.
I want to get to that.
It's so easy to just throw claims like this out there. There's no way of knowing what would and wouldn't have happened.
You know, I came here today and I watched the 2 hours with Mark Levin. I watched your hour with Tucker. I watched your hour with Brett Baer. You did 2 hours with me. I watched you on Maria. I watch your interviews, and on Fake News CNN. I watched that too.
Well, that was a good one. That was a good one. They had a town hall.
That was a good one.
They ended up firing the head of CNN, and they got the highest ratings in 11 years, and they fired. It's supposed to be the opposite.
By the way, you might want to start a show, and at the end of every show, say to somebody, "You're fired." That would work, right?
You're fired.
All right, but I wanted to talk about the problems.
If Sean Hannity gets fired next, did Trump talk to Tucker Carlson before Tucker Carlson got fired?
I don't remember. Hannity's talked to Trump a lot, though.
Yeah. I wonder how many guys talked to Trump, or how many people talked to Trump shortly before getting fired. It's a good point.
In other words, identify the problems and the solutions. Okay. We cannot ignore today's events. Today, when you put out your Truth Social post. And by that, I want to talk about what is clearly now, and what the Judiciary Committee under Jim Jordan is looking into, whether or not our FBI and our Department of Justice have been weaponized and politicized. And I have two headlines here. You know, FBI tipped off Biden team, Secret Service.
Everybody in this audience looks like they're about to take the offering deal on Pawn Stars from Big Rick.
Interview Hunter, according to a supervisory agent who retired. Tomorrow, there will be another IRS whistleblower, just like this man, Mr. Chapley, who came out and said, no, he should have been indicted on felony charges, and I've been doing this, meaning Hunter Biden. Then I can take you back, and you know that I covered this every single night, and my show was vindicated on the issue of Trump-Russia collusion that never occurred. The Durham report corroborated it, the Horowitz report. It's a long
The Barry Horowitz
way of
report.
me asking this very simple, basic question. And that is, if you look at Hillary Clinton and the way she was treated, no prosecutor would prosecute, 33,000 subpoenaed emails.
The very mention of her name.
Then her dirty dossier.
Boo, Hillary, boo.
Run for mayor someplace else. And that dossier was used to get 4 FISA warrants. And then you look at the FBI in 2019. They had Hunter Biden's laptop in December of 2019. They verified it in March of 2020. And yet FBI agents in the months leading up to that election were meeting with big tech companies, telling them, according to Yoel Roth, the former Twitter integrity site head, telling them that it might be about Joe or Hunter. That laptop story got censored. The American people were denied the truth.
I've heard
about
some
what would
people
be
defending the laptop censorship because it was equivalent to revenge pornography. Like, that's why they were taking it down at request of the FBI or whatever, because those were lewd
I don't know.
pictures of Hunter that were leaked and should not be. It was like they were trying to cover it up under a revenge.
I don't know. I mean, everybody knows about it, right?
I don't know how many people actually know about it or the depth of what's real about it and what's not. I think there's still question of whether or not these laptops had like weird stuff with his nieces in it and like weird other things. There's a lot of the fact that it's not being outed leaves so much up to question and interpretation that it's become its own conspiracy theory, even though it like knowingly exists. It's very strange.
Someone said, "How do you not know?" But I know. What the fuck are you talking about? Like I know. Uh-oh. I know what's going on. I'm just asking. Like I don't think it's. I don't think that there's this massive cover up necessarily. I don't quite believe that that's the case, and it's still private property, so it can't all be made public unless it like gets subpoenaed or something like that. So
a bombshell story.
And by the way, it still is censored because they haven't really gotten into the meat with all of the great reporting done, and there has been some great reporting done. Generally speaking, the press is fake. It's fake, and it's just horrible, actually. But there's still been some great reporters and great reporting done, and you are at the lead. You've been incredible. But when you look...
He's not a reporter.
When you look at...
Sean Hannity is in no way a reporter. He's literally just a commentator. It's all opinion. He doesn't actually report the news.
That they haven't even gotten to the bottom of the laptop. They don't want to put the pictures in. They don't want to... They have pictures in there that anybody else, they go away for 10 years. What happened to Hunter is he got a traffic ticket. Other people are being sentenced to many years in jail for doing much less. He got a traffic ticket. The only good thing is the people know it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Now, Jim Jordan and Jamie Comer, these guys are doing a great job. But the problem is you find out the crime, but nothing happens with it. Instead, they go...
I was saying that you guys talked about it being rebranded before. Yeah, did I say I had never heard of that? I didn't say that. I just didn't respond. So I don't know why you're... I don't know how that's an indication of me knowing or not knowing something. I remember talking about this already.
After you.
Like, for example, Hillary Clinton's home wasn't raided. Yeah. Joe Biden's garage wasn't raided. The UPenn Center wasn't raided. The University of Delaware wasn't raided. His home, beach home, I don't know how he affords a beach home on a senator's salary, that wasn't raided. Hunter Biden is being protected, obviously. Cocaine in the White House, 10-day investigation. They literally interview nobody. Okay, investigation's over. Would that have happened in your White House?
Well, listen to this. Even you mentioned the beach home. Well, the beach home had all these documents in it, right? It was by the Corvette. They're on the floor, classified documents.
He kept them in Chinatown. He always brings that up. He kept some of the documents in Chinatown.
That's not the beach home. The beach home was another place they
No,
found.
this is also the beach home. And they had the Corvette, where they had the Corvette. And a tremendous amount of payment was made for that home by somebody to Joe Biden. And it was a big story for about one day, and then you don't hear about it anymore. It's incredible. But when you look at the documents all over the place, whatever happened to that one? They go after me on documents, and I have the Presidential Records Act, which is a big deal. And the Presidential Records Act is an act. Thank you.
Why weren't their homes raided?
They know better than anybody else.
Why weren't their homes raided?
Well, let me just tell you, I'm protected by Presidential Records Act, and they
You're
come
not
up
the president anymore.
with this obscure
Presidential
crazy
Records
theory,
Act.
a madman theory. This guy is a deranged.
By the way, we're $20 away from shot number 1. All we got to do is get to $600.
Sippington. Tremendous failures all over the place. He's a nasty, horrible human being. They come after me. Now, Biden has many thousands. I mean, he's got almost 2,000 boxes of documents. They can't get to him because the college or whatever that has him doesn't want to give him. And he probably told the college. But more importantly, China gives millions of dollars to UPenn. That's where he has some. He's got them all over the place. And maybe worst of all, he's got documents in Chinatown. Many, many documents, boxes of documents. You don't ever hear about this. All you hear about is Trump. And I'm totally covered by the Presidential Records Act and also by the Clinton Sox.
You even Trump even admitted on that leaked recording that he could have declassified it while he was president, but he didn't.
Case. You know what
He's
that
also covered under the Clinton Sox Act.
That's what Clinton took out tapes in his socks, and he put them in his jaw. And they sued him just on a very
Wasn't
civil
Clinton's
basis.
cat named Socks?
I don't remember.
I thought they had a cat named Socks. I hope the tapes weren't smuggled out inside of that frickin' cat.
And he ended up winning the lawsuit. And the judge said he can have whatever he wants. And that's called the Presidential Records.
What about Sandy Berger shoving documents down his pants?
Oh, there are many instances of it. But especially when you're president, and Joe Biden wasn't president. You're only covered by the Presidential Records Act if you're president.
Wow, Socks the cat lived 20 years.
With those tapes smuggled out their ass?
No.
Joe Biden wasn't president. In fact, Joe Biden was senator for many years, and they've got a lot of classified documents when
Trump
he was
thinks
senator.
Chinatown is actually in China.
Yeah. He kept them in Chinatown.
And other Democrat senators can't even believe the fact that he has these documents. They said, I watched Dick Durbin. Here's another beauty. I watched Dick Durbin saying, I can't believe that he took them. He couldn't even believe it. So it's a two-tier system, but it's worse than that. It's a very corrupt system.
Okay, so my question to you is, when you see that Hillary had top secret classified information and the conclusion of Jim Comey, no prosecutor would ever prosecute, 33,000 subpoenaed emails deleted, devices destroyed. Okay, then we have the FBI in early October of 2016 sent agents over the pond to meet with Christopher Steele.
Maybe Sean Hannity will be Trump's running mate.
They offered him $1 million to verify any part of that dossier.
That'd be a crazy ticket.
I wonder if that would actually work out. Like, don't they usually try and pad the presidency, the vice presidency, with someone who covers areas the president doesn't have? You think Hannity
Not
covers?
always. Sometimes. Like McCain thought Sarah Palin would be good for the women vote, but she wasn't. She was actually worse. So I don't know. I don't know who he'll pick. He'll have to pick someone eventually, though.
To get Trump.
Okay. They couldn't verify it. Then, in late October, even though it wasn't verified, they used that, according to Andrew McCabe, deputy FBI director.
In a way, Sean Hannity does kind of reach people that Trump may not be able to reach, because he was in bed with the establishment forever. before Trump got into office.
Without that dirty dossier, they would never
That
have
dirty
gotten those
dog.
FISA warrants approved.
Dirty
now,
dog.
They knew that they couldn't verify it. The Dora report confirmed none of it was true. And yet they would use that as a backdoor to spy on your campaign and your presidency.
Yep.
Is that a dual system of justice?
And the whole thing with FISA was horrible. But you know, one thing we did that was so great, I fired Comey very early. And a lot of people said, oh, you should have done it. Well, you know, they're given a term. They're given a term very early. Not immediately early, but very early in a few months. And I got rid of this guy. And by doing that, it was like you threw a rock at a hornet's nest. The whole thing collapsed. You saw the love letters back and forth with the different people talking about the insurance policy. You know what the insurance policy, that was against
Should
me.
we unfreeze Dusty and see if that gets us more donos?
I didn't realize he was frozen. Oh, but
He's
he
been
is
frozen for a while.
I just thought he was sleeping, but yeah, I'll bring him on. I'll fix it.
Figure maybe that's why we're not getting all these sweet donos. They don't like frozen turkey.
It's not a turkey.
He's a bird.
Uh-huh.
Turkeys are birds.
They are birds, yes. A very different type
Exactly.
of bird.
Exactly.
No, it's not exactly.
We don't like frozen turkey around here.
If she
We
for some
like our
reason
birds fresh.
loses, darling, we have an insurance policy. The insurance policy is they'll get me out. One way or the other, they'll get me out. Because you know what? This is 30, 35 years of being put into government. And you get there. And initially, I didn't know people in Washington. I was there 17 times in my entire life. I never stayed over before this. All of a sudden, I'm president of the United States. I relate, and we had tremendous people also. Don't forget, biggest tax cuts in history, biggest regulation cuts in history, rebuilt our military, took out ISIS, took out Soleimani, took out al-Baghdadi, the two biggest terrorists in the world. I mean, what we did was incredible. Strongest border we've ever had. Everything was good. No inflation. Best economy in history. We did all of this stuff. We had tremendous people. Look.
Down the hatch.
Oh, yeah.
Hey-o.
Thank you. Dusty was getting all puffed up like,
I knew that would get the liquor flowing.
here we go.
Turkeys are avian dinosaur raptors. Thank you, DJ Crypto's Rock.
And cockatiels are like a type of parrot.
Have you seen the new MT, not, what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene, Biden commercial?
I saw the like cringe rap that she was part of.
There's a Biden commercial, and it's just Marjorie Taylor Greene saying stuff about Biden, but it's released like as a pro-Biden commercial because like she's trying to say all these things Biden is doing is terrible, but the Biden policies are like, no, we actually are proud to be doing these things. So they just play it with her commenting all these things he's doing. It's funny.
Made a lot of money. Yeah. No, so we had tremendous people. But we also had some, you rely on others. You rely on people that you knew. You rely on other politicians to give you answers. And you find out that they are rhinos or they gave you bad advice. So we had some that weren't good. But when you think, Comey had a term. He had many years left in that term. I said, this guy's bad news. I realized it very early in the administration. I fired him. And it was wild. That's when we found out all of the corruption. Had I not fired Comey, you wouldn't know any of the things that you were talking about.
You think they would have destroyed you?
Well, they were trying to take me out. Yeah, they were trying to take me out. I mean, it was like a coup. It was like a coup. Had I not, you know, it's very interesting. Some people that are very smart, that you know very well, said when I did it, oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. You're going to cause. Now they say it was the greatest instinctual move they've ever seen because Comey was a very bad guy. And Comey led that group of thugs in there. And they were
Dusty,
doing a number.
How many gallons per minute of concentrated evil can you convert into pure goodness? How much of it is lost as heat?
Good question.
Yeah, converting evil to goodness.
How would you like to answer that, beautiful bird?
By biting his own ass.
Oh.
Where it's very dishonest. It's years and years of putting in people, Democrats and rhinos and other people, but putting them into office. And we got rid of a lot of them, but we're going to get rid of a lot more, because you have some bad people.
One more question on this.
Rhinos are Republicans in name only.
Yeah.
So do we think that MAGA is the new Republican?
I mean, they're all
everything else is
Republicans.
Rhino?
They're all Republicans in name only. It's a spectrum of beliefs that link them to that specific party. You know, like,
So it's like autism?
kind of, yeah. Yeah.
In the past,
There's no like set rules on what makes someone a Republican, you know, like.
I think it's
But now I think that's used to describe Republicans that don't like Trump, which is weird because Republicans were a completely different thing before Trump came along. He brought in a new Republican voting base that wasn't that involved, I would think, prior to this.
been a mistake.
Do we know what Democrat is? Like, are there Dinos? Are there Democrats in name only now?
There
or is everybody
are,
pretty
but
much just...
I mean, they're just like about Republicans. I think they're all in name only.
We call them dinos instead of dinos. Did I mess up?
Yeah.
Dinos and rhinos? Damn it.
I'm like you. I think we should have paper ballots, same-day voting, make Election Day a national holiday, and have partisan observers in every precinct watching the voting and then watching the vote counting. And when the polls close, declare a
The
winner.
stunning Cartman-looking woman in the sequins in the front corner has my vote. I vote for her.
System we have. Republicans have been reluctant and resistant towards early voting, mail-in voting, and they've also been resistant towards legal ballot harvesting, which Democrats have mastered, which is why they can hide in their basement, run hundreds of millions of dollars in ads, and never answer a press question or shake a hand or kiss a baby or do a town hall. My question is,
shake a baby?
Do you now encourage and embrace
Shake a baby and kiss a hand.
early and voting by mail, and legal ballot harvesting?
I do, but I also have to say something else, because the one thing a lot of people,
But this is important,
including
you
you,
do.
don't talk about, they also create phony ballots.
Ooh.
And that's a real problem. That's my opinion. But they
do you-
create a
I
lot
wanna
of
know.
phony ballots.
Has your mind shifted?
Can you show us a phony ballot?
In other words, I think if Republicans start out Election Day down
If there's a lot of phony ballots out there, you shouldn't have trouble finding one and showing it to us.
200,
The Disinfo
300,
Warrior
500.
asks, isn't kissing babies kind of creepy? You know, it used to be endearing. It used to get you a presidency.
Everything's...
Problem is, Joe Biden kept kissing them until they were like 12, 13, 15, where they could say no, and it looked like they wanted to. That's where it got kind of creepy.
Everybody thinks shit is creepy now. Like, people are way more sensitive now than they are.
Come on, man. Chill out. Kiss a baby. Everything's going to be cool.
1,000 votes, that becomes nearly impossible to catch up with.
For some reason, Republicans always wanted to go out on Tuesday and they wanted to vote. And I respect that. I think it's great. And it would be great if we could get back to one day and all the things that you said with one thing else.
I agree with you.
With voter ID. With voter ID. Because the Democrats don't
And
want
signature
voter
verification.
How about this? They don't want voter ID because they want to cheat. You know, they want to cheat. They don't want voter ID. Even the Democrats, regular Democrat people want voter ID, but the leaders
Regular
don't,
Democrat people.
because they can't cheat. The
Yeah, those
one
are
thing
not
we
the-
have to be
the
very careful
dinos.
of is phony ballots. Everything you say is great, but they create ballots. That's my opinion, and that's the opinion of a lot of people.
That's my opinion. My opinion that I'm willing to wage a coup on.
Voters, based on the system we have, to go along with the system of early voting and voting by mail. Because
I will.
Sorry, that's my opinion. We don't have to prove anything. We don't need fact. That's my opinion.
A big mistake.
Exactly.
I will, but those ballots.
And he says, and it's a lot of people's opinion. Well, the truth isn't voted on democratically. It's either true or it's not. Just because you can get a bunch of people to believe something doesn't make it true.
But yeah, you can still vote based on belief and not fact. That's the scary
You
part.
can.
We have consequences all the time based on belief, not fact.
Ballots get lost also, Sean. You know, they send them in and all of a sudden they're gone. Those ballots get lost also. The answer is I will because you would like it. But you know what? Can I be honest?
For me, okay.
But I
got to take a break.
But Sean, a lot of bad things happen to those ballots also. They're sent in early and all of a sudden, where are they? Look, we have very corrupt elections. We have no borders. If you don't have borders and if you don't have good elections...
We definitely have borders.
Just got home. Love you, sweet boys.
Thank you, thank you.
L-O-V-E-Y-O-U, just bro. Thank you.
You don't have a country, and that's where we are. But I'm okay with it.
By the end of this year, we'll probably have, under Joe Biden, nearly 8 million illegal immigrants since he's been president. Quick break. Hey, Sean Hannity here.
There's definitely a border, like this thing where like we don't have borders enforcement. It's just not true. It's not true. It's funny that they don't believe.
They just said 8 million people came in illegally.
Well, yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean the border isn't enforced. That just means our borders are so large that it's almost impossible to adequately secure all of them.
Do you think
all
it's
the time.
impossible, or do you think it's not something they care enough to deal with? Like, do you think it's an impossible problem?
I don't think anything is. I don't think it's impossible, but it's very difficult to secure every mile of border, especially the northern border. The northern border is huge.
Giggles in the chat says, I cross the border every day to work. It takes like 2 hours.
Yeah, because you got to
That's
talk to
a
somebody.
lot. That's a lot.
Let's see.
Disinfo Warrior thinks it's almost a fool's errand to try and secure countless miles of desert.
Yes, but that's where they come through. And some of them, you know, if they're in the coastal parts of Mexico, they'll pile a bunch of people into like a rowboat and try to row across the border while they're in the ocean and come back around on the other side. So
should we just have drones that kids can play like video games, and when they catch somebody, they like do a bag and tag and follow them to a destination where they get picked up and caught, and then when you catch somebody, you make a small fee for your video game surveillance drone?
No.
No?
No, we shouldn't do that.
I think kids would love playing catch 'em if you can with the surveillance drones. And having an accompanying bounty hunter meet them up.
Just because kids would like it doesn't mean we should do it. All right, we are going to get into the... Yeah, you have a lot of ideas.
Offering answers.
Well, you have a lot of ideas, Billy.
Just offering some answers.
Okay. We're moving into the next part of the show right now.
I should turn off that goddamn internet.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. TP, are they going to touch me?
Calm down, Egghead. Calm down. Calm down.
Egghead's body is ready.
Yeah, but we're not even doing the Jared part yet, so Egghead just has to wait. Egghead is obsessed with Jared.
Calm your tits, Egghead.
All right, here's Sturgis defending Eric July. That's all he does. That's all of his content is defending Eric July. Eric July's fragile ego.
Hello everyone, I am Renowned Zero, and we're back again with some detractor memes. Some new detractors arguing with Eric, you know, doing the things that they don't do with the mainstream comic book industry. They only do it with Eric July because he has
because mainstream comic industry doesn't respond like a lolcow
right.
to it.
Exactly.
You don't see Kevin Feige doing a live stream where he's like, "Hey, these I'm owning the haters on my live stream."
Kevin what?
Kevin Feige, that's his name, right? He runs Marvel.
Kevin what?
Kevin Feige.
don't agree with, and the fact that he's gone outside the mainstream and been a big success with 2 campaigns now.
He's like
with
the most
second one
famous guy over at Marvel.
on its way to being a multi-million-dollar campaign, showing that he can do multi-million-dollar campaigns back to back. Check out the links in the description. I do mirror all my videos on Rumble and Odyssey. I do stream on both Kick and Twitch, and I do have a subscribe star. Nothing obligated there. Don't really have to.
Nothing obligated there.
You don't have to be obligated at a subscribe star. For those of you watching, you do have to be obligated on our Patreon. You're not obligated to our subscribe star, though, but you're obligated to our Patreon. If you want to join us every month, patrons $5 and above get to watch our private shows, including Actual Mania.
But it is there if you want to support further. As we work our way towards monetization, we are currently 23 subscribers away from 1,000 to apply for the YouTube Partner Program and get monetization. And check out the Ripperverse Go Post Twitter account and YouTube, as well as a video of Eric July's most famous detractors.
You know what he does? He soft blocks. Because I followed him on Twitter the other day, and he soft blocked me, so I wasn't following him anymore. So it's like Caden Cowgirl style.
Regards
Everything-
Zero isn't responding to us anymore in his comments.
Aw.
Sad face.
No. That's fine.
I knew he wouldn't be able to, little wimp.
Be linked down below in the description. But before we get into it, just a quick update on the Ripperverse campaign. As of recording of this video, currently sitting at 1 point.
He posted.
Boys, glad to see you back, Billy. I hope you get your health stuff straightened out and get that heart back pumping peanut butter as it should. Love you all.
Oh, by the way, $10 away from the next shot, which is amazing. And I wanted to show Sturgis actually tweeted about an hour ago when he saw that we were going to talk about him because he saw his name in the title.
It must be the most interesting thing they can talk about. 2 days without a video about that, but they're still talking about hashtag winning, hashtag we will win, hashtag Whipperverse. A measly 121 viewers for 800K sub channel clamoring for my attention. Shameful at Ripper Goalpost.
You're giving us your attention, and you're very obsessed with numbers.
And shout out to the 666, Ben. You got to sip.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm
ready.
Big soul.
Yeah,
coming through, taking your soul.
He should do a live stream and show us what's what. He should do a live stream and get way more viewers than us.
He told you he live streams on Kick, dude. Here we go. He told you. He live streams on Kick, dude.
Oh.
I obviously will go look at all of the analytics for this channel.
Yeah.
800K subscribers and only gets a few hundred views. Look at this. Look at this growth. This growth.
He's gonna do his ism-tism here with all of the numbers on the screen. He's gonna like go through and read every number.
917 million, 16,213 purchasers, 10,813 covered A's, 11,271 covered B's, 3,594 covered C's. Now definitely get in where you fit in with this one because there's only going to be 5,000. And this is the Shane Davis cover that is both foil and embossed. So get on that if you want it. 1,400.
Get in where you fit in. Get in where you fit in. This is only going to be 5,000. This is so cute.
Yeah.
He's such a big fan. He loves Eric July.
Yeah.
He loves ism. He's such a happy boy. I'm actually very proud of him.
Covered
Happy
B,
little boy.
As the mass copy print and 1,683 books have been donated. Moving on to
back to Social Blade.
Social Blade, as always, getting huge subscribers. I'm sure some of them are
Getting huge subscribers. He gains like 2 or 3 a day.
people who are hate watching, as I've seen by screenshots. Some of them are, most of them aren't. But I do have my Social Blade here.
Oh, really? You do?
I'm sure they're going to be watching this video, and they'll somehow try to
You know
this.
how much I love YouTubers complaining about YouTube or talking about YouTube. Like that's the whole reason YouTube was made, was so people could talk about YouTube. You know? Good job. Good job for talking about YouTube. Fucking dork.
Start with our first detractor meme here of Isom. Apparently his weakness is criticism, which is not the case.
It is, though. It is.
It is not the case. He is weak only to falling from the sky since he cannot fly. I did read the book.
Typically, things that are said about Isom and Eric July in general is, your comic book sucks, your comic book is mid, most of these people haven't ever read it, and your opinion is not gospel.
You have no idea who's read it and who hasn't. That's all you can say. All you guys, you all fall back on assumptions when you realize you're not smart enough to actually retort anything that we say. You just assume something ridiculous, and then you're like, well, there you go. That means I'm white and you're wrong, okay? You didn't even read it.
They think we didn't read the comic book, and that's what makes us wrong. We think they did read the comic book, and that's what makes them wrong.
There you go.
It's horrible, dude.
There you go.
People who bought the first book, liked the first book, and they're continuing on and purchasing the second book, which will be fulfilling and, I think, blessed.
And by the way, yes, I do believe that there is a plan afoot to subscribe and get him over 1,000 and then just all unsubscribe at the same time. I've heard about such a story.
If he gets over 1,000, does he get monetized even if he loses it?
I don't think. Well, he has to have view time hours too.
Yeah, true.
So, like about a week and a half. So, can't wait to see the goalpost shifts and the detractors cry about the second campaign from Eric July being fulfilled.
Yeah, there's another thing that he's always defending, where we've never said that he doesn't send out the comic books. We've never made that claim.
Because, of course, the left can't meme. Right? That would be that
The
one.
scam is that the comic books he sent out suck and aren't worth the money. That's why we said there was a scam.
We, of course, have people
you can
who
enjoy the fact that you got your book and be happy. That's cool.
wish people to go broke, be jobless, and be homeless on the street. Rippaverse employees will be jobless in a year or two after crashes and burns, according to Master Bates. Keep
hot.
He fell for that. Master Bates. So people need to make Twitter accounts that will trick him into saying dumb shit. I would love that. Like make an account that looks like it's some woman, and you could make it say like I'm a fagot or something like that. Something like that.
Laughing now, you'll be jobless in a year or two after Rippaverse crashes and burns. Y'all ain't gonna make it to 10 years. Well, they're already pushing into the second year. This is in response, of course, to Eric July, of course, making a clip about how his company is not going on strike, while the people who make terrible content are going on strike. Let's get into it more of this. We also have Organized Chaos with his measly 4 viewers on a channel with almost 27,000 subscribers. Now, there is another channel that, of course, will probably end up suffering the same fate because they really don't add anything to YouTube or anything to the argument against Eric July and the Rippaverse. So this is probably going to be their fate at the end of the day. We also may have a new detractor doing a live stream saying that taking Eric July's Isom to the barbecue after, of course, showing you that
the barbecue. Did he say the barbecue?
Hold on, is that the
Does he
new
just
one?
have a speech impediment where he puts a G at the beginning of words?
Let's see.
Reverse. So this is probably going to be their fate at the end of the day. We also may have a new detractor doing a live stream saying that taking Eric July's Isom to the barbecue after.
Dude,
the barbecue.
That's what a beautiful night that would be. Barbecue and Gideo games.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Of
Let's
course,
go.
showing you
GG barbecue and Gideo games.
that he essentially pirated the book and didn't actually buy the book, which is what most of these weirdo detractors do.
I thought they didn't read it. So they
pirated the book and did not read it. They downloaded it just not to read it.
Right.
They did not read it. They downloaded it just to have a copy like I do. I buy 3 copies and did not read it.
Tend to steal the book rather than buying it, or they just don't read it.
People are trying to define what a barbecue is. I think barbecue is a good word.
It's like when you barbecue garbage.
Yeah, this hot barbecued garbage.
It'd be like it would be like grilling inside of a metal trash can. That's a barbecue.
Ism deserves to go in the barbecue.
Reasons, I guess. Worst comic ever. Of course, you have people saying his comics are way too expensive. They would rather read some poorly drawn modern Marvel comic. Yeah, because that's what you definitely want to do. You wanna enjoy terrible entertainment while saying something else is too expensive, because $35 is so much money for brokies nowadays.
For brokies. Please buy brokies. Get your limited 5,000. Get it while the getting is good. $5,000 cover. Only 5,000 made. Get option C. Get it while the getting is good.
This is another example of where he just makes shit up to make himself feel smart. And he's like, "Oh, you're just broke. That's why you didn't pay for it." It's like, no, they just don't want to pay for it.
Brokies sounds like a racial slur.
Next detractor we'll move over to it.
Oh my God, this. He's all butthurt about this.
Of course.
This is somebody who says Eric July's wife is fat.
Well, I would say
but she's not fat.
I would say it doesn't say she's fat. It says she has a big butt. I don't know, but she's not fat. I've seen pictures. She's not fat.
And when we were reading the comic books the other night and we saw that jewelry advertisement in the back, I said it's probably his wife's jewelry advertisement. Confirmed.
Yeah, it was. I just think, like, why respond to it? Why give it attention? And Eric July's like getting all mad about it publicly and then posting pictures of him and his wife and all this shit. It's like,
paid half the price for indie comics that were twice as good. My man's really said take Rain Man, but make it incel. Beautiful.
Or Yaida Comics, I think his name was before. Saying to Eric July, of course, that his wife is this big. Saying you tell your wife her...
Maybe it's just her ass that's that big. Maybe she needs a wide chair. I don't believe so, but I think it's just, why give it attention?
Old office chair is very comfortable, 10 out of 10. Just remember, just a quick reminder for people who have been here before, I'm sure you know who this guy is. For the people who are new here, this is essentially the guy who pulled up a fake page from Eric July's comic and tried to pass it off and try to roll it back.
Yeah, so this guy that was a detractor of Eric July didn't do their research, and they ended up looking dumb here because they pulled up a page from the comic where the dialogue was all edited in a stupid way. But Eric July, the way he reacts to it, he's like, "You disrespected me." It's
the way I saw him reacted to what's the guy's name, Devin or whatever the bad guy
whatever his name
Daryl?
was. Daryl, I think, yeah.
Daryl?
After he got called out for it being not the real page. Let's take a listen here.
Weird and clunky and bad.
Look at Sturgis' face right here. He lives vicariously through Eric July.
Totally.
It's so
Eric
weird.
July is his avatar.
Yep.
Hey, homie, that's not from the book. That lettering is not from the book.
He wants to touch beards with Eric July, you know?
He wants them tangled together like Velcro.
Yep.
Homoerotic Velcro.
What's that lettering from?
I don't know. Somebody was probably being snarky. This isn't from the book. It has the freaking watermark. This is not from our book.
Well, that's good, because that looks awful.
Oh, no. Let's not say that's good. Do you not understand how goofy and silly you look right now? That you're criticizing us for something that isn't even mine. It's not even in the book, you goofball. Now I feel even more disrespected because you disrespected me based on some shit I didn't even do. You don't think you're at least a little bit of a jackass for doing that? Like, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I'm.
Can you at least admit fault? Can you at least admit fault? That was you kind of a jackass for doing it.
I will admit fault on that.
All right, cool.
Like, I'm.
At the very least, I give him some credit for, of course, apologizing for his dumbass self for doing this disrespectful ass shit.
But I have to rewatch this because we have to show every W Eric July's ever had.
Right.
Because they're so few and far between.
Of course, he thinks it's somehow a win to get blocked by Eric July. Of course, after saying this nonsense about the man's wife.
That is a busted up chair, man.
It has two sets of wheels under it.
2 roller points underneath it for the. I kind of want one of those. How does it work?
I don't think it's real.
Crossing between each other.
I don't think it's real.
You don't think that's real?
No.
I bet you it's real. I bet you. I feel like they have to have chairs like that for the super fats.
It's like the thing Jabba lays on top of.
Uta Guta Solo.
If Jabba worked at like a call center, that would be his chair.
It's like is that like asbestos that fell from the ceiling, or is that butt cheese?
It's like lint
caked up on that chair.
Looks like lint.
This was some kind of own. You got absolutely destroyed, of course. You tried very hard. You tried very hard to not get ratioed. You got ratioed every single time.
Imagine
the Al Bundy gif was great though.
Imagine like giving a shit about ratioing. Just imagine that.
Ratio hornblower. Let's go.
You make a post. Every single time you make a post, you got ratioed. So, moving on to Check the Circuit, who wants to call Eric July a cowardly person. Meanwhile, he blocks replies similar to...
You soft block people. You soft blocked a couple people, including myself, and I just followed you back. I'm just going to do what I do with Caden Cowger. I'm just going to keep following you back.
He'll block you before Caden Cowder did?
Caden Cowger waited years to block me, and then they just finally did like a year ago.
A certain person will call him AF. Not only is Eric July ignorant and an embarrassment to SDCC, he's a liar, poser, and a fraud. He and his betas tell lies about comic book sales, and the industry and Eric uses that often to make...
Oh, he soft blocked me again. I'm following him back. Following you back, Sturgis. I'm just going to keep refollowing you, Sturgis.
His points, yet cowardly Eric refuses to release the individual donor amounts for his comic book. Yes, because you want people to be essentially doxxed. That's definitely... cool, I guess.
Isn't that
Eric,
cool?
of course, responded by saying, I have no idea what's going on about, quote, individual donor amounts. If you're talking about total purchases that's on the site, surely you're not asking for my customer list. Of course he is. He wants to essentially dox, he wants people to dox people so he can try to harass people. But I responded saying, says the guy who locks posts after talking crap. Also, no lies need to be told when the data is out there about the failure of current modern comics. There's really no rhyme or reason as to why anyone would have to lie about it. Now, of course, we have this guy.
Even veiled narcissism of July's approach to respect. Ripa is entitled to respect or he'll threaten you. Also, he'll disrespect anyone who challenges or criticizes him.
Yeah, it's strange.
You can't talk to him if you're a fat, but you can illustrate his whole comic book if
and
you
buy it.
Fat.
And employ Eric July because Glenn Beck is a fat.
And we have decided you cannot marry Eric July if you're a fat. His wife is not fat. We have decided that.
Yeah, and me personally, I wouldn't be mentioning... Sturgis here is going through the worst of the worst. Like the people who fucked up and were wrong... The people who are attacking his wife, like that kind of shit. He ignores all of the actual legit criticism towards the book itself.
Well, he's got to go for the bottom of the barrel because
Yeah.
that's the only opponents he can finagle his way through. He had to back away from us because we were too fucking strong.
I mean, he just tweeted about us though.
God loves us more than they love him.
So now he's going to talk about Jimboski Games, who's a DP viewer, and I've known about them for years. And he's Eric July quote tweeted Jimboski Games because of So he's very selective about who he responds to, and it's usually punching down, which it's bad when we do it, according to Sturgis here. But when Eric July does it, it's so funny and awesome.
He's owning the haters.
If they can't be hypocrites, they can't be anything.
Monetize the haters.
Reverse to own the libs. Like, the old SpongeBob meme. Look, people don't hate Eric. People find it comedic that an idiot like him suckered a ton of people to buy a not-so-great comic book, which, once again, is your opinion, right? That is your opinion to have.
It's your opinion.
It's absolutely your opinion to have. It's okay though. They can have fun. They can have fun with their 3 versions of ISO #1, while the rest of us living in the real world get
in the real wood
BJs from our wives. I can tell you right now.
Oh yeah. Listen to this. And I know why. I found out later why he said this, because he didn't come up with this on his own. Eric July said this exact same thing in his quote tweet. But listen to what he says.
You don't have a wife.
How do you know? See, that's another example of like you have to just make shit up because you've got nothing. You have to just assume something weird.
Yeah. And even if I don't have a wife, I could go out and get somebody else's wife. It's not that hard.
At a barbecue.
At a barbecue.
You don't have anything.
You don't have a wife. You know what? You don't have anything. Okay.
Considering you literally made an account based around a universe you don't care about.
No, they didn't. They've had this account forever. They just changed their name, and people do that all the time. If you notice, the @ isn't anything to do with Ripaverse or Eric July. You can change your... He probably doesn't know you can change your name on Twitter, and it's like a temporary thing.
He probably doesn't know much.
Because his name on Twitter... is probably just his name, like his first initial and his last name with a bunch of numbers behind it, is what it looks like.
Sturgis, if you're smart enough to change your name on Twitter, change it to Real Wood Barbecue, please.
The Real Wood Barbecue.
Real Wood Barbecue. Change it now, or we don't believe you're smart enough to change it. Sturgis.
I did respond to, obviously. I did make a response to this.
Okay.
Which is right here. You
see Eric July's response?
Your hand does not classify as a wife. Virtually none of y'all are married. Damn, Eric July with the hard-hitting opinion.
Account based around a universe you don't care about, so nah, you ain't married, bro.
Is that the qualification? Is that how you find who's married and who's not?
Got him.
Of course he responded.
But he also didn't make that account based on a universe. He just changed his name, so you're double wrong again. So now he's probably twice as married.
You can literally go to this account and click and see when the account was created, and it predates the Ripaverse easily.
Nonsense.
The Ripaverse.
Right? I did respond to his comments as well.
Uh-huh.
He says,
I did respond. I put in a hard day's work of responding to comments by typing yawn.
But I don't have time.
Good job. Good job.
Okay, this thing, and I was like, yawn. Ripitards when they are told they were suckered into a crappy comic book, which is again your opinion.
He soft blocked me again. I'm following him again. He's gonna be so
come on
busy.
the show.
He won't come on the show.
We haven't tell him to come on the show. Tell him to come on.
He's a coward. He's not coming on the show.
Tell him we'll put him right beneath Dusty the Cockatiel.
He's a coreword.
Beautiful bird. Tell him he could be on with Dusty the Cockatiel. As long as he promises not to barbecue Dusty.
And of course I respond by saying, insults just make you look unintelligent and have nothing to add.
You mean like when you call people fat? When you're just like, I don't care what you have to say, you are fat. Like that. Oops. Oh wait, that's just more hypocrisy. Funny how I keep finding all this hypocrisy.
Because you don't have anything to add to a conversation by just throwing insults. You just don't. Of course, Eric with the amazing clapback saying your hand does not classify as a wife. Virtually none of y'all are married because it's all you
Eric
spend your
with the
time
amazing clapback. Go get him, Eric. You got him good that time, Eric. The amazing clapback. Good job, Eric. It was amazing, Eric. Ooh, Eric. I love these balls, Eric. Ooh, shuffle them in my face, Eric.
This is what y'all do.
Ooh, feels so
Spend
good.
all your
Ooh,
time
Eric,
on Twitter
you're so good. You're
crying
awesome,
about
Eric.
a man
Ooh.
who's more successful than you, who will always be more successful than you.
He's cuter than you too. He's got like ample buttocks. He's just amazing in every way. Look at him. Look at that beautiful smile. I want to touch beards with him so badly.
I want to give him the velvet Velcro. When our beards stick together and rip apart in the Rippaverse. The Rippaverse means when our beards connect like Velcro and then rip apart in the Rippaverse.
All you can do is cry about it. It's literally all you haters can do is cry about it. And of course, we had this person who's like a parody of All Caps Comics, which is Ethan Van Sciver's company, called All Crap Comics. Does Rippaverse provide full benefits and a solid retirement plan? Does the lowest
I love
paid
when
employee...
he explains the jokes. Because, like, he obviously has the ism-tism.
Yes.
So he feels like he has to over-explain everything, including, like, that's why he explains the numbers and the social blade and everything. This joke is where they were obviously making fun of Eric Van Sciver's group, all cap comics, but now they call it all crap comics. It's way funnier when he's giving us the David Attenborough explanation.
still make enough money to reasonably sustain themselves without living paycheck to paycheck? If not, then you guys are in the same boat as the strikers. This was, of course, in response to this video here. Let's take a listen. It says, let the union and studios fight and destroy each other. Guess who doesn't have people going on strike instead of getting work done and making money?
Hey, you know who's not complaining right now? You know who's not going on strike?
Yeah, because you don't hire union workers, so there's no chance of a strike happening because you have to be unionized to strike. But
yeah, this is a great time for independents of all entertainment classes to maybe rise up and get some work out there. Who is the bigger ass sucker, Sturgis or Spexo? Good call.
I haven't seen anything from Spexo in a while. I wonder if he's over Nick.
I think Spexo probably fell out of love. All out of love. I'm so lost without you.
You know whose business operations are still going right now? You know who's not the one complaining to a mega corporation to give him more money?
See Sturgis laughing.
Good job, Aaron July.
Screenshot it if you want. Screenshot it.
Now, hopefully you can do something with this industry downtime and put out a product that actually could hang with the stuff that we're waiting to come back. I don't know if you're capable of doing that. I would love it if you did, because so far it's taken you a little over, what, a year?
It takes so long to just put out one book. He's not going to be making movies or anything like that.
And it's a stinky book. It's not a good book. Like, you can brag about all the money and opportunity you have right now while everybody else isn't working. But the idea is when they come back, they're going to make stuff that people want to see on a massive level. You have the opportunity to be that indie guy and use some of your money, some of this money you've earned, to put out something before that comes back. Fill the void with something good. Become the next indie superstar instead of just a GoFundMe Kickstarter superstar.
He did not use the GoFundMe, Billy DeFwidge. He did not.
Of course.
Oh, man. That's great.
I know exactly what the fuck it is that I'm talking about. My business is running right now. Hey.
Sure is.
Your business is nowhere near the size of like a Universal Studios or whatever.
Look at Sturgis's face lit up like it's Christmas morning, staring at God and Santa. He's like, sure is. You tell him, Eric. You tell him.
Eric July
I'm
is
so proud of you.
He's
Daddy
so dreamy.
The D in Eric D. July stands for dweemy.
And it's thriving. It is absolutely thriving.
It's thriving. He's bouncing up and down like Egghead was when he thought it was Yoda.
Is that Yoda?
This is what he had to say in response, of course. This doesn't even make sense. My employees aren't currently striking. And
Because they can't. They don't have the option. So you can also... That's That's why people were asking, does it this person that you're responding to is asking this question because they know that your employees probably don't get all this shit. I'm wondering, like, you know, how much you paying ground level employees?
There's no dodge. My employees are taken care of and are happy.
And if there were complaints about pay, surely you'd know about it. No, we aren't in the same boat. Don't put that evil on you. Basically saying no one's complaining about their pay, unlike the people who were using the hashtag comics broke me, where they were essentially saying they can't pay their bills because they're waiting on commission money and stuff like that from Marvel and DC. To which he responds by saying,
you know who's never going to complain about pay? Brainwashed libertarians.
Exactly. They're like masochists when it comes to employment.
Nice dodge. Still doesn't answer my questions. Do you offer full benefits in a retirement plan? Basically saying the same exact thing he said before. There's no dodge. My employees are taken care of and are happy. We don't have the issues that the strikers are supposedly having. This dude wants to work for you, Eric, just too ashamed to ask. These clowns always need a new goalpost or talking point to mask the fact that they're pissy broke and mad at our success. This is, of course, Andrew, who they try to cancel. These weirdos try to cancel Andrew, like if talking to Eric July was gonna get him fired, right? Someone came up and was like, "Oh, do you allow your social media manager to say these things?" And it's like, yeah, I do. He has his own opinions and he's allowed to have them. This ain't the mainstream. I don't do that nonsense. We got
people went into his thread for his tweet that he made, and within like the last few minutes, he's been responding. Let me show you here. It's so dumb. He's not the brightest. Right here.
Go on the show. You're invited to the barbecue. I don't waste my time on debates. I got better things to do.
No, you don't. All you do is talk about people who don't like Eric July's comic all day, and literally we're inviting you to talk to us, people who don't like Eric July's comic, and you run like a little core word.
Yeah, it's not even a debate. We're not trying to convince you that, like,
yeah. I don't think you're
anything.
Smart enough to be convinced of anything.
We just want to have a chat because you're so fun.
Yeah, you are.
Egghead says, like being a pick-me. Do I look like a woman? LOL again. Double penetration is not sending their best. I like how a pick-me has to be a woman, dude.
Yeah,
You're
I didn't know that was a
traits.
rule. I didn't think so.
You're having pick-me traits, and the idea that you think because you're not a woman absolves you from being a pick-me just makes me think you're more of a pick-me than I thought you were beforehand, because you have no idea what a pick-me is.
Bruce here, Bruce Flash in the comments. Gotta love when communist detractors show up sweating over other people's money. Pretty much. It's pretty much what these people do.
What?
Right? We also have Lorenzo Sleestack saying, I watch debates where Eric goes around threatening to fight people IRL, like that ex-amateur wrestler turned lolcow Tonka Saw used to do on the Morning Kumite.
The Morning Kumite. He called it the Morning Kumite.
The Morning Kumite. He probably doesn't know how to pronounce Kumite.
But he's like this big anime fan. He should know that word.
We also
He
have
doesn't know
Lorenzo Sleestack
barbecue. He doesn't know video games.
saying,
I assume he's had a lot of video games and barbecue in his life.
Debates where Eric goes around threatening to fight people IRL, like that ex-amateur wrestler turned lolcow Tonka Saw used to do on the Morning Kumite. If he were more professional, with less people would mock Eric, but he's so thin-skinned and easy to wind up. Post a clip where I threatened to fight people over debate, disagreement, or criticism. Show the receipts. And of course, we have other people. You definitely made threats before. You just deny their actual threats. It's no big deal, but it's very obvious. Post a clip, show receipts. Do you not remember what I am referencing? Nothing comes to mind where Eric took the stance his treats weren't actually threats, or threats weren't actually threats. Again, show receipts.
His treats weren't actually
you said
threats.
Something other people viewed as a threat? I'm surprised you would forget so soon. But of course, this is what people would consider a threat. This clip right here, right? This clip right here.
Just throwing this out there before we get started. Any event that, I happen to be at one of those and you happen to be there as well, let's just make sure that we link up and we kind of chop it up about kind of some of those comments. So you fat.
Essentially, chop it up is slang for let's talk it out. Nothing to do with physical altercation whatsoever.
Out of shape and you white. Don't go around. I would advise you not do that. Go around talking about black people saying that they have issues with themselves. I would not make it a habit if I were you. Considering that you ain't built for that level of action, I would not advise.
What is that? What's that? Is that a threat?
Well, it is, but Sturgis here is going to say it's not.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not a threat at all. He's
saying that you aren't physically capable of having a conversation. That's all.
Essentially telling you this is something he advises you not to do. That you shouldn't go around telling people that they're not, I guess, worthy of being black when they're black-skinned, right? You shouldn't go around telling people...
What?
That. Because you don't know what's going to happen to you when you do that. Because you don't know how to navigate that. You don't know how to deal with that.
Never done anything athletic, and he talking sideways. Like I said, like he's got to see me anyway. Don't let me go to a con and his motherfucking ass is there. He has to see me, right?
And they think that's a threat. When he says, you have to see me.
My time is
we
now.
Gotta hash it out. And get rid of the Twitter nonsense and the hiding behind the keyboards and the monitors.
And he's saying I'm gonna knock his ass out. He's like, is that a threat? Like, ain't nobody threatening you, motherfucker. We already know you can't whoop my ass.
That is a fact.
That's not what the dispute is. I'm saying we gotta have a discussion, and there might be someone that's
see, because he even clarifies it.
A lot less patient than me.
Just throwing.
He even clarifies his statements. So no,
he's backpedaling.
It is not a threat whatsoever. Whatsoever. Yeah, telling someone that you want a face-to-face conversation with them is not a threat. Telling someone also to watch what they say about black people is also not a threat. Telling someone they lack athletic prowess is also not a threat.
But why would you tell them all that? Why? Why would you tell them all that?
It's not a threat. Because, clowns that have either fake profiles or look like that. I'm guessing it's a fake profile picture. Show the full concept of the clip. No one here beat me in any debate. Because people really think that Bob from Organized Chaos really can beat Eric July in the debate. That never happened. That literally never happened. Literally never happened.
Did it happen?
This guy's still talking.
Literally never happened.
Did it happen, though?
Literally never happened.
Did it happen?
This. Oh, anti-fans have built their livelihoods on these women. Yeah, they built livelihoods apparently around criticizing movies. Literally what people on multiple news websites and entertainment websites do all the time.
But the difference is critics do not look for negative things to harp on or create negative things to get hate viewing. Critics will give an honest opinion of something. If everything you say about something is negative, you're no longer critiquing. You're fighting into the idea that something is bad and you're trying to milk hatred for it. So you could say, yeah, well, I'm critiquing, but you're not. You're buying into this idea that people are angry with products and you're trying to capitalize off it. And that's okay, but it's not critique. It's literally just mining anger and hatred. If you want to be a negativity hatred miner, go ahead. You can mine that shit all day long. But don't say, we're critiquing. No, you're looking for the bad stuff because you know the bad stuff gets you views from people who are tired of the same old shit.
By the way, we are very close to the next shot. Once we get to $700, it's the next shot. And then we're only $100 away from the goal, which is sweet.
Do this all the time. There's a lot of other people that get paid to do this, except they're paid shills, and the people on YouTube typically don't have a big corporation behind them. In the YouTuber's case, it's just YouTube, whereas they get paid by the companies to say good things about their movie.
What?
I mean, they changed the way Rotten Tomatoes worked because of Captain Marvel. Rotten Tomatoes changed the way it operated because of Captain Marvel and the supposed review bombing.
I mean, like, pretty sure Rotten Tomatoes is owned by like Comcast / NBC / Disney, right?
No. Yeah,
Disney's owned by ABC.
I thought it was Time Warner, but I could be wrong.
No.
I don't know. Maybe it's not Time Warner.
It's let's see.
But
because they show it on Peacock, like Rotten Tomatoes is integrated into Peacock, so when you're browsing the content on Peacock, it shows the Rotten Tomatoes score.
It's probably owned by NBC and Comcast.
Yeah.
The idea that they changed the voting on that for Captain America is one thing, but you can't hide that Captain Marvel made like $1 billion, right? Didn't it do $1 billion? Like even if there was a lot of people that hated it and didn't want that, there was other people who went inside.
Yeah. I just looked it up. It's split ownership, but NBC Universal owns the majority of it, 75%, and then Warner Brothers Discovery, which I guess is a different part of Warner Brothers than just regular Warner Brothers, they own a quarter of it. So,
but it's okay for them to review bomb in the positive direction, but not the negative direction.
They bought Discovery recently and merged together.
I see.
Like who are you fooling, dog? At the end of the day, these people are just jealous about this man's success. I've got people jealous of my success. I'm sure they're going to be watching this video. And I'm going to say in the video, please do not interact with anyone that's shown in this video. Do not engage. Do not interact. Leave your comments in the comment section down below and we'll have a discussion there. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button. Comment below what you feel about all this. Subscribe for more content.
So much
Hit the bell for
ism-tism in
notifications
this
to all. That way you get
ending.
notifications anytime I post a new video, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.
All right, I got another one from Sturgis, and then we'll move on to something else.
Hello everyone, I'm Renowned Zero, and we're back again talking about some more Rippaverse detractors, Rippaverse haters, Air July haters, and essentially a couple of people like Dick Masterson who will obviously learn nothing about this interaction that he so desperately wanted between him and Eric July to jump up some clout, essentially, I guess, for his friend Vito's comic book.
Somebody, Morden is Alive on Twitter, posted a picture of a barbecue. It's a garbage can with some things being barbecued on top of it.
Is that Mr. Morden?
I'm wondering if it's AI. It kind of looks like AI art. So yeah.
And of course,
nice. It was
Dick
Mr. Morden.
Masterson is the type of person who is essentially a drama farmer, but this person thought it was okay to essentially put this weird meme out by saying hashtag Rippaverse fans when you're honest about the weight of Eric July's wife. He insulted her fat queen, which, if anyone knows anything about Eric July, he's public about his wife and his marriage because she has an at-home business. He put an ad for her business in his first comic book, and he'll probably do it again in his second comic book just to make these weirdos mad about it. But this
to make these weirdos mad about it?
I wasn't mad about it. I figured it was either someone paid him or it was someone he knew that wanted...
I could tell it was in the family when it was put there. I didn't know if it was like wife or sister. I didn't know his personal life.
Yeah.
So I could tell that. Like, if someone paid to put their stuff in that comic book, it wouldn't be jewelry in the back of a comic book, right?
Right.
That was definitely something that was familial or connected, like a personal favor to somebody. Makes sense as his wife. Good for them. I hope Sturgis bought a fucking necklace or whatever the hell she was selling in the damn ad.
Like the farthest thing from the truth, for one, right? They insulted my fat wife. Hashtag Rippaverse, hashtag we will win. So, again, you're wrong. But again, you're not putting yourself out there. You have an anime avatar, so no one cares. Essentially, what you have is an anime avatar, right? So, but as of this recording, we're gonna refresh.
Here we go. Here's all the numbers.
At $1.919 million, with 10,833 cover A sold, 11,289 cover B sold, 3,595 covers C sold, which is the cover that only has 5,000 being made. That is both foil and embossed, and I'm assuming drawn and colored by Shane Davis. 1,478 cover Ds, which would be the
Imagine
mass.
caring about a comic book with only one issue so much you have to make videos attack people who didn't like it. Sturgis really earns the name Regard Zero.
To be fair, they did pay for more than one issue for this comic book. You probably get 10 issues of a normal comic book at that price.
Print copy of the book and 1,684 total books donated, with 6,274 total purchasers. Now, if people who've been watching the channel for a while, Dick Masterson was essentially the person who...
Sturgis just tweeted again like 4 minutes ago. And let's see what he said here. We're getting this in real time now.
Come on, Sturgis. Come on the show.
Oh, wow, he tweeted again. So we'll start with this one. Do you want to read it?
It's very clear to me now.
Oh, I thought you were going to do it
with
the speech impediment. It's very
clear to me now. The Fats got criticized for bad takes, and they get all butthurt, and then brigade your socials trying to get you to engage and try to silence you with their weirdo tough guy fanboys. It's clear to me I live rent free in their heads. At Ripper Goalposts.
Yeah, he's adding his buddy to like be his backup for him, and then they're
attention, please.
and then this
Cam from nowhere says no one's trying to silence you. We're trying to give you a platform to explain yourself. LOL. I don't need to explain anything. The Fats are mad I criticized their terrible takes on a comic book and creator they don't like and sent you weirdo to try to harass me, and I'll just keep winning. Hashtag winning. He spelled whining wrong.
Hashtag whining.
Oops.
Claimed that Air July was committing some type of fraud because he was donating books to charity, which was comic books for kids. And he said that he essentially was pocketing the money.
They should have bought good comic books for kids.
Or just giving them the money
ISOM.
so that they could send all the other comic books they have in stock out. But ISOM wants to sell his own books for $12.50 a piece.
You called them ISOM. Because they're the same person.
Basically.
That people were giving for donated books. But Air July, of course, put out this long message right here, essentially explaining to what we refer to as a Buster Baxter, or more correctly, what he refers to, who he refers to
So he's like something we refer to, and he's like, oh, actually, he does it, not me.
as Buster Baxter, right? So he says this: Buster Baxter, apparently you've been obsessively nipping at my ankles for months. You've committed yourself to being a drama farmer, and I understand your frustration. His main frustration being that Vito's comic book is way less successful than Eric's, and Eric is way more successful than...
And more handsome, right?
It puts you at a perpetual state of being both a contrarian and trying to conjure up plex with people that are more successful than you. That has to hurt because you know that it's not sustainable.
ISOM 2 could completely redeem ISOM 1. The slow build could be explained in a way that makes it like, wow, okay, all right, so they were like building to this. But I heard it has almost nothing to do with ISOM 1.
Hopefully it's a great comic book. I don't want him to have shitty comic books. I don't care. I want it to be good, but if you're going to react to somebody's critique in a bitch-made way, then
that's the problem.
We're just going to joke about it. And we're going to joke longer and longer and longer the longer the content keeps flowing, because we don't stop. We put out episodes all the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for you, you will not be getting the back and forth public spat you desperately crave. You'll have to bum off someone else's following. This quote tweet is probably the highlight of your year, but there will be no...
I like how Dick Masterson is in his suggestions, like his suggested follows. It's funny.
Further engagement from me, but we might as well use this as an opportunity to educate. You vastly overstate your intelligence, so your arrogance will prevent you from learning anything about business / shipping, etc. But there are indies out there that will find this information useful. So he essentially puts out a post explaining about shipping and some business sense.
I ship you with Eric July.
About how he essentially made his business successful. By avoiding third-party distribution, third-party shipping, he decided to do it all in-house with a warehouse. This was in response to him saying, talk about how important it is to run your own warehouse to ship one comic instead of just offloading it to ShipBob for way less money and better service, you effing moron. Now I'd rather Eric July do it all himself because clearly he knows what he's doing.
Oh, does he?
He's run businesses before
Clearly.
successfully.
Clearly.
So I'd rather him do it. But of course he responded as well.
Only a couple bucks before my next shot, and then we're at the 700 mark.
To it by saying this. Shouldn't you be prepping for your TED Talk on, quote, filmmaking? Yes, he's prepping for his panel talking about indie filmmaking and animation, which is specifically what he's going to be talking about is animation, which he did storyboard the trailer for ISOM 2 and produced it and put it together, essentially.
He produced it and put it together?
This, so I don't know why.
Isn't that the same thing?
He even wasted his time even talking in quote at all. So.
Elmer Fudd here doesn't understand
This
the
is
difference.
more stuff from Eric's account. Pulling up. There's some white bread brainlet that must be clutching his pearls right now.
Dwink.
Dwink, fat dwink.
All right. And Egghead, if you're out there, get ready because you're gonna have your moment in the sun here.
Get ready.
In a moment
Eggward.
here.
Did we
Get
already
ready.
point out all the spelling mistakes? No. We didn't even do that. Bottoms up, pour another cup. Shout out if you're watching right now and you're Mormon. I hope you're having some 7-Up.
The MLS is threatening bad things because they think that him saying pull up is somehow a threat. This is something I showed in yesterday's video, so that's why he's making a joke about it. It's because it's pretty funny.
Yeah, and you could see in Eric July's image posting history, he posted a bunch of pictures of his wife, and he didn't have to do that. He could have just, like, I know he's already posted these kind of pictures anyway, but it would just be better if he just didn't respond to it, because obviously it was ridiculous. He doesn't have...
If his wife was fat, I would have started making fun of him for having both a fat comic book illustrator and a fat wife when he won't talk to fats, but only because he barred fats from having conversations.
It's just
with
stupid
him.
how he posted pictures of her to prove to everyone that she's not fat.
Yeah,
it's
and
so
she's not.
cringy. No, she's not. She's not at all.
And I wish she was, just so we could make fun of him for marrying a fat but not having a conversation with one. That's the only reason. But he didn't do that.
Right.
He married a beautiful woman.
Moving on. Here, the last day for the fan art contest, which he responded to this person too. He responded.
Yeah,
to
this isn't a W here.
Saying that, Eric's wife's fat.
Yeah, no, definitely respond to the people who say your wife's fat by showing 7-year-old pictures. That's cool.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, this is why he shouldn't respond at all.
That is interesting. Anons that claimed I was short and fat are now calling my wife fat. It's like y'all act as if we don't make public appearances or something. Go work out and stop projecting. So yes, he posts pictures of his wife right there.
He doesn't get it.
I understand misery loves company, but holy crap. Haha. Not everybody is as miserable and out of shape or ashamed of themselves as you are. There was once a narrative that detractors thought I was not only fat, but I was like 5'5". What?
Yeah, he's not 5'5". He's like 5'8", 5'9".
I think so.
He's a giant.
Definitely isn't
guys.
5'5". Because I've met the man in person, so he's definitely not 5'5".
I've met the man in person. He loves him. He's in love. He's in
I
love.
suckled his knuckle buckle in person.
Talking about this person here, when your first concern about making comics is the money, you're no longer indie, which you misspelled indie. And the fact that you're going to make a comic book without having profit in mind is really silly. Paper, pencils, and pens aren't that expensive. You can save up money from your paycheck to get a computer and scanner. You can post your comic online for free, or that pay what you want model. This is not a serious person.
Then why respond to them?
It's quite humorous how people think they know more about a business than the guy doing it. Right?
It's probably a troll.
Is that humorous? Is that humorous? Because there are people who do know more about the business than the guy doing it, and he won't talk to them because he calls them fat. Dick Masterson, Vito have all been working in the business for quite a while, and he won't talk to them because they're fat.
Weird to me. Of course, you also have Dane from Actual Fandom, including him in a live stream. I think they just ended it, yeah. So, including it in a live stream, of course, they have to put something about anti-fandom, and of course their TDS and all this other stuff, because that's the only thing they can work with to essentially build any audience.
Back to the analytics.
I think it was like 41
audience,
people.
definitely audience. 41 people, definite audience.
A channel with over 6,400 subs. Come on, dude. You should be able to do better than that. Over on the Social Blade.
I knew it. He can't do a video without Social Blade.
Because I know people will watch it and cry about it more.
I'm not crying about it. It's hilarious. It makes you seem like you have
wipe those
a screw
tears
loose.
away. Wipe those tears, Ben.
It just makes him seem very tismy. The way, like his weird obsession with numbers and everyone, like numbers is what proves if what you do is good or not. But
I think people should start unsubscribing to him once he gets up into the 990s. Don't let him hit the triple digits. Don't let him hit the 1,000, the quadruple digits. It's going to crush him so much when they start to fall.
Of course, there's a whole bunch of sub increase, views, all that good stuff, which I appreciate everyone.
Or stay followed.
Subs and views my videos and gets enjoyment out of it. I do this for you, and I wouldn't be able to do it without y'all. So, essentially, just more nonsense, as always. That's what people do. Just continue to cry about it. Continue to cope with the fact that someone you disagree with is more successful than you are. And you won't be able
I don't care that he's more successful than me, and I don't have a problem admitting it. I don't care. Like
how many awards has ISOM won?
Are there? I don't know. 0. I would
Is
think
it an award-winning comic book?
I don't know.
to ever touch his company or be able to disassemble him, essentially.
Disassemble him?
Because y'all got nothing. And that's why you decided to go after the man's wife. Because that's all you have left. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers. Returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button. Comment below what you feel about all this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell for notifications. Anytime I post a new video. And I'll see you all on the next one.
Yawn.
He looks very sad.
Yawn.
You ever notice he looks like droopy, you know?
He perked up when Eric July was talking. He was so happy to yes man Eric July.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, Eric.
That was the only time I saw
Eric.
him smile.
He was giddy for his Gideo gamer.
All right, so I am about to add Egghead to the call here.
Yellow.
It's
Which
Egghead.
came first? The beautiful bird or the egg?
I don't know.
Well, tonight the beautiful bird was here first, Egghead.
Oh, okay.
Shut up late.
So
Thanks.
I'm gonna step away for a minute, and then when we come back, when I get back, we will watch this video that Egghead is so obsessive over. I'll be right back.
What's the current case of flatulence in your life? Are you farting a lot?
Nope.
Ben said he drank a lot last night, has been a little farty, and today I've been a little farty. I've been eating a lot more fruit lately.
Yeah.
I'm on this new diet, and I get to have fruit again on my low sodium diet. I've been a farty little man.
Wow.
So if Ben's farty and I'm farty and you're not farty, I guess the next question is Dusty farty?
Dusty?
Hey, Egghead.
Yeah.
Isn't Dusty a beautiful bird?
Dusty is such a gorgeous bird.
Gorgeous?
Gorgeous.
That's
That's
a sweet way to say beautiful.
indeed. That's a very southern twang version of gorgeous too.
Okay, do you have a southern wang?
I'm from the South, so I guess maybe, yeah. Let me put my phone on fucking silent.
Why don't you silence that phone, Egghead? Christ.
I just did.
Egghead, if you were going to commit a horrible atrocity, what would it be?
A horrible atrocity?
Yeah, what would it if you were going to commit a horrible atrocity, what's the horrible atrocity you would most likely commit?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Stealing from family members?
Oh,
but that's
nice.
Good thing I don't fucking do that.
Nice, Egghead. Mine would probably be like uncontrollable public diarrhea.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, here we go, guys.
Ugh.
Here's so this video is about Egghead that Jared made.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I just wanted to say to Egghead, dude, you're such a loser simp, bro. I mean, really, the fact that you even simp for someone like Ben Pye says amazing things about you. But this
really?
moron came on my fucking Gilded last night. I'm about 99% sure it was him. A friend of mine.
I was not in your fucking Gilded.
Why were you in his Gilded?
I wasn't. I was editing a fucking video for Actual Mania last night.
I've never known Jared to be wrong about anything.
Oh, really? We're just siding with him now. Okay.
I'm just saying, Jared. Yes. Yeah. I think Dusty's owner has a question for Egghead.
Yes.
Isn't Dusty a beautiful bird?
Indeed, Dusty is indeed a beautiful bird.
Okay.
Figure that out. And I just wanted to say this, bro. You suck. You're a loser.
I suck. That's coming from
And I
you.
think you're fucking
Beautiful.
hilarious. These self-righteous fucking cuntbag atheists, you know, they love to talk to me about my Christian faith. And they love to say, you're a hypocrite.
You are.
You
You're
are.
a hypocrite.
You say that you say that you're a Christian, but yet you believe in all these other fucking religions. You say that you're a Christian, but yet you're also a monk. You say that you're a Christian, but yet you also believe in Hinduism and Buddhism and Taoism.
There are Christian monks, though, right?
I guess.
Yeah, there are.
The way Jared acts, no.
Like Friar Tuck, you know, like a Christian monk. Those exist. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, Egghead. You're letting Jared win here. I mean, Jared has already scored multiple points, and Egghead's got 0 points.
Oh, okay.
But asshole.
Oh, okay.
You can't talk to me about that. You're not a fucking Christian, dude.
No, I grew up in the faith.
You're not Christian.
Fuck what I care what you have to say when you're not even my faith, dude. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Okay, what is that saying in the Bible? Don't try to take the splinter out of my eye when you got a goddamn log in yours.
Ironic,
I've never heard
because that can literally be referred to as you as well, Jared. Mr. Pedosexual.
Some bullshit like that. You know, you think you're such an expert in the Bible. There you go, man. There's a verse for you, dipshit. God, these people
How about
piss
this? How about
me
this
off.
one for you? Treat others, do unto others as they would do to you. Golden fucking rule, fuck boy.
Wow, Egghead. You're getting mad.
I fucking want to kick his ass.
You're getting schooled by Jared, and it's making you mad.
Oh, fuck off with that bullshit, man.
Bro, these fucking elite.
Egghead, if you were going to spar with Jared one-on-one, what would your tactic to beat Jared in a one-on-one fight? What
Should
would it
he
be?
make this public?
What, if he was going to fight Jared?
Yeah, why would he give away his strategy?
Well, I guess if he's worried about Jared one-upping him, then yeah, don't give away your strategy.
It's happening right now.
Oh, for
my bad. I didn't realize they were actually going to fight. Egghead, I'm sorry.
They're going to fight.
I'm sorry I ruined your actual fight with Jared to try and get some content.
Well, you
tonight.
didn't. You almost did, but I saved it because obviously they're going to have an actual fight.
Gonna happen. You guys live only what, an hour and 40 minutes away from each other?
That's what I'm saying. There you go.
He lives
I can't
further than an hour from me.
He does?
Texas is big.
He lives near the Houston area, which is, I live in Dallas. It was like probably 4 hours away from me.
4 hours and then 4 hours back?
Mm-hmm.
Whoo, that's not good.
Yeah, Texas is pretty spread out. And he's even, he's like east of Houston. So he's even further away than Houston actually is.
Yeah.
Fucking stand him, dude. I mean, really, with a name like Egghead, what do you even expect, bro? What do you expect? Of course he's gonna be a douchebag. Who the fuck calls themselves that? I mean, seriously, I have an egghead, but I would never fucking call myself that.
And yet you act like a fucking know-it-all whenever it comes to fucking, like, what, weightlifting, bodybuilding, fucking kung fu bullshit.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Are you stupid? You gotta be. You gotta be fucking dumb.
It's coming from
You gotta be a special kind of dumb to do that, bro. I mean, really, but again, he's a simp for band pie. What do you expect? So, guys, if you want to come down to my Gilded and watch really dumb, stupid, hilarious shit like that, please come and watch. I need more people in there, guys, especially people to help fucking defend me.
Oh, big boy Jared, too big, tough man Jared needs help.
4 hours from him. He lives near Beaumont. Say the word and I'll drive you halfway through. I'll even warm him by whooping his ass a bit.
Damn.
Whooping.
Whooping.
I am getting attacked fucking all goddamn directions right now by these retards. It is
big
funny,
real
though.
man needs
I mean,
help defending himself.
And it is entertaining. I'm not going to take my Gilded down. But yeah, bro, they are pissed. They're pissed that I'm still making videos, bro. Drunken Peasants are so fucking obsessed with me. It's just fucking sad. So yeah, bro, this fucking Egghead guy, I don't even really know this dude. Honestly, I've just, I see him trolling every once in a while. I don't fucking care who this piece of shit is. He's just some little fucking bitch.
Ew, you don't know me, but yet in your fucking TikTok video
Jared,
against me,
you
pretty much
special kind of stupid to do that. Also, Jared can't figure out how to use his goddamn Switch.
That is true. I find it funny that he says that he doesn't know me, and yet his fucking TikTok rant video about me, he literally said I was the one who led the charge against him getting taken off of TikTok.
You think he forgot that, Egghead? You think he forgot you're the same Egghead? You think he thinks there's multiple men named Egghead out to get him?
Maybe I'm the new boogeyman for him.
Boogeyman 88?
Boogie 2988 man. I got a spit take out of him.
Egghead, are you drinking your own spit now?
No.
Oh.
I didn't spit out. I almost did, though. You almost did.
Egghead swallowed. Good girl.
Obsessed little loser probably has his, brains fried from fucking dank weed like Ben.
Nope.
Complete elitist.
Nope. Egghead's brain is not fried from dank weed like Ben is.
It's fried from cringe.
Retard, bro. Probably like a Metal Jesus Rocks. Well, you know what, bro?
Metal Jesus Rocks. Why would he bring up Metal Jesus Rocks?
Because he always loves to name drop people who are more successful than him.
How fried is your brain from dank weed, Ben?
It's more fried from booze, I think.
Not from dank weed?
No.
You do have dank weed, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The dankest of weeds.
You can suck my Metal Jesus cock.
No, thank you.
Why is it a Metal Jesus cock again?
He brought up Metal Jesus randomly out of nowhere.
Weird.
Oh my god.
Okay, what do you have to say about Metal Jesus and Catholicism and or monks?
I just love this fucking idiot. Oh my god. I fucking like, oh, you're not a real Christian. Bitch, I grew up in the fucking faith, you dumbass. I'm more of a fucking,
What is wrong with you, Egghead?
Egghead is overheating.
My mind.
But deep, that's all, folks.
Yeah.
I grew up in the fucking faith, and yet this motherfucker wants to act more Christian than I ever was in my entire fucking life. Bitch, please, you are the furthest fucking thing from a fucking Christian.
Egghead, did you grow up in the faith?
Yes.
Then how come Ben went to an actual religious school and you didn't? He's the better son.
I am.
Oh, we're doing this again.
I mean, did you go to a religious school growing up?
Nope.
Ben did. So he's a better son.
Good for him.
Hey, as far as sons go, that's a better, sweeter boy son.
And I have visited the miraculous staircase in the San Loretto Chapel.
Huh,
in
so did my dad.
Our
Hey,
dad.
what's the most holy thing you did?
My dad.
I made him proud of me.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay, can I tell you a secret about your dad?
What?
We loved him too.
I know. I know you did.
Hey, Egghead?
Yes.
Isn't Dusty a beautiful bird?
Dusty is indeed a beautiful bird.
All right, guys. Once we hit the goal, I'll kick Egghead off of the stream.
Oh shit! Get us in there, guys.
Aw. Aw. Ouch.
Get the goal now, guys.
Yeah, get the goal now. Like, yeah, they'll kick Egghead off. Fucking goal.
Egghead, what if you're on for the next 48 hours because we don't hit the goal?
Oh my god.
Are you willing to cancel work and all other private engagements to be here for 48 hours if we don't hit the
He
goal?
won't be able to watch what Jared does, though, if he does that.
True.
Just turn off my fucking camera and just go scrolling through the damn through YouTube.
Okay, when's the last time you had a wart on one of your genitals?
Never.
On one of his genitals?
What?
Why?
Just wondering. I didn't want to rule out your buttocks or something.
I want to play some other stuff. Do you remember the Broke Ass cooking show?
Yes.
That guy, and then we watched that video of him where he was making out with this
crazy threesome, or was it threesome?
Something
A
weird. Something weird. And
a wild hookup sesh?
Yeah, and then he freaked out and left everything. But he has a trailer for season 3 of the Broke Ass Cooking Show.
It's back.
And in the trailer, we're featured extensively.
Uh-oh.
Hell yeah.
The Broke Ass Cooking Show.
Yeah.
The Broke Ass Cooking Show with Chef Adam Petrie and Broke Ass Cooking Show.
He just farted. Did you hear that? Did he just fart? Hold on.
Farting in a cooking video.
Hold on.
That's most definitely what's up, Tubes.
Hold on.
Oh my god, he did.
He cracked more than an egg.
He just whacked himself in the forehead with the spoon.
Remember,
the craziest thing about him is his name is Adam Petrie.
Yeah.
He has a cooking show.
Yep.
And he doesn't refer to any of the things he cooks as his Petri dish.
He's Dr. Adam Petrie.
Yeah.
don't hit yourself on the head with cookware because it hurts.
It does need more sauce, though. Is he going to be superpowers?
Jennifer Coolidge in a single bound.
What?
Here we go.
Stiff for his mom!
What
Okay.
in the world?
This guy needs to play Jennifer Coolidge's weirdo son in a... He's a special boy.
Stepson.
He's a special boy. Wink, wink. Yeah, he actually does need a sex scene with her.
Oh shit, the UPS guy.
The UPS guy.
And now the suspenders are back on. That was a good cooking show.
Yeah, it's the greatest cooking show I've ever seen.
There you go.
Outcook King Cobra any day.
Whoa.
Ooh.
There you go.
Challenging him.
Back and broker than ever.
Back and broker than ever.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome back, Dr. Petrie.
Dr. Adam Petrie.
Let's see. Oh, King Cobra, he's still kind of mad about the documentary. And by the way, we did talk a little bit about the documentary during the pre-show. You guys should subscribe to our pre-show that we do. I'll be publishing it over the it's before every episode. So you want to go and like download the episode and you'll get an extra pre-show at the beginning. All you got to do is follow us on Spotify or iTunes or wherever else you can get a podcast. And we did discuss, we're basically in the works of getting the guy who did the King Cobra documentary on the show. So we'll see how that goes. Here's Cobra.
Before noon, Casper time.
What's up, YouTube? Working on a new album called Sinister Snakes. It's gonna be awesome.
Woo! Is he already wasted?
That's the documentary.
He might be.
I didn't talk shit. I politely critiqued it. I'm allowed to critique a documentary that's made about me. And when we were going to the casino, I gave them directions. Turn here, turn there.
He sort of knew the way, but he also kept getting distracted by telling Joe how to cut a cigar.
Right there where it goes around.
Getting distracted. Don't use the guy you're filming a documentary of as GPS.
Oh my god.
Especially the known TISM guy. Come on. These guys are like, we did everything stupidly and we blame it on him.
Oh my god. At some point, or I don't know, but that's bullshit. Yes. You turn right, and then we go down this street. And when you get to the first intersection, or left, I mean, yeah.
Oh my god.
Intersection, you want to turn right.
Does GPS not exist in Casper, Wyoming? Have they not updated it yet?
They look disgusted to be there, at least the one dude did. So I'm asking, why the fuck did you bother filming it? Because they find me fascinating, I guess. I don't know. The wand I was working on for my short with that tiny little quartz crystal, the crystal in it broke. And I'm not going to give my fans a wand on my Etsy page like that. I can repair it magically, but the product just doesn't look as good.
He can repair the wand magically.
Magically?
Yeah, but unfortunately, the magic doesn't look as good
Exactly.
as the hard worked crafting.
I want to see some Cobra magic. Is that so bad?
I've snapped so many goddamn wands, losing my fucking temper, that it felt like magical karma. Like I made this badass wand I was going to sell on Etsy, and then when the crystal broke in it, I was like, no, I'm not selling this. I was able to repair it magically, like I said, so it functions like it should. Making crystal wands is very difficult, very time-consuming.
So soon.
Highway
You know what? I've snapped so
danger
many
zone.
wands trying to make them on the lathe. That's just how it is, how it goes. That's why they cost $48. The lathe wands. It takes me like an hour to lathe it out. I don't charge for like the sanding or the painting or the staining. The documentary was well filmed, but just felt like I was underhanded, especially when they seemed so nice to me. You know, that's all I'm saying.
That does kind of suck. Young King Cobra felt like he had made a couple buds, and it comes out, and they're calling him dumb. That would suck.
That is bad.
I feel bad for Young King Cobra on that front.
Like I said, making videos isn't really a chore. It's just coming up with creative content. That's why I have a repertoire of things that I do with my YouTube. Drink combos. Women notice the way I smell. You heard it in the new documentary. And I guess the subreddit really hates the documentary, which I don't care if the creator of the documentary was talking all this mad shit about my cooking and everything, whatever. The fact that my trolls hate it makes me like the documentary. Even though I don't appreciate being called dumb. I'm a lot smarter than people give me credit for, and I tend to see things that most people don't. It's just part of having Asperger's. What the fuck is 4 plus 4?
That's an existential question, though.
Jesus.
And within like the first 5 minutes of the documentary, he's calling me dumb, and he has this grossed out look.
You're
on his
dumb.
face like,
You're dumb if you answer what the hell is 4 plus 4 with 8. That's what makes you dumb. What is 4 plus 4? That's questioning the construct of mathematics, existence, and our trust with one another to agree with it on a certain level. Young King Cobra was just existential in that moment. That's all.
Like, it is what it is. The trolls immediately are like, oh, the mayor of Casper doesn't even know who you are. You're not even famous. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Otherwise, you wouldn't text me.
Most people don't even know who Josh is. We got asked by many curious bystanders throughout the week what we were doing. And when we told them, most of them didn't even bat an eye. They had no idea who King Cobra JFS was, and even less Josh Saunders.
Well, they know now, right?
Right after I block their number so they can't respond. And then I just laugh at their ass because fucking with them back becomes a game. And it's kind of fun now. I no longer get mad at it because what's the point? I spend all day coming up with creative, fun, original sandwiches that are gross.
He spends
and
all day
weird,
coming up with these creative, fun, original sandwiches.
It took him 8 hours to make his double down.
You know, it takes him
hours.
Yes.
It usually takes him 4 hours just to pick out the bread for his sandwiches. So having double down, having zero bread, that could have been a 12-hour sandwich.
the caviar sandwich.
Gotta get the right
most people wouldn't eat
size of
that.
meat.
So I'm just saying. And all my trolls can do is, what can we text Cobra next? With some stupid pussy burner number. See, if I harass people with my cell phone, I do it with my actual fucking number. And I have no reason to harass anyone unless they harass me. That's just fair. I've been fucking bullied my entire life, and I'm done taking crap from people. I don't mean to be so standoffish, or people get the wrong idea.
Somebody, let's start a tip train. Let's get the tip train rolling.
Yeah.
Get that tip train rolling.
Yeah, of me, you know.
How old is he? How old is Cobra?
He's like 32.
Ah. Thought he was older.
Read between the lines, honestly, the new documentary is not bad. People love to chase clout when you're the next thing, I guess. Well, look, you really told me
like
the
that
documentary,
outlook.
hey, this
Good
sauce
Cobes.
is really good for your chicken sandwich. Hey, this is pretty tasty. And then when I watched the documentary, no, it's not the worst thing I've had.
Now, if we microwave this butter to melt it, we're going to add some flavor to it.
Oh my
A
god.
little bit of Bud Light Platinum. And
Is he making
splash of
buttered
Jack
beer?
Daniels.
Yeah.
Whiskey,
Oh,
butter,
my
and Bud
sauce
Light.
will, like drench all 4 pieces.
Oh man,
It's
he's
like,
making that
okay,
Cobra
so
sauce.
He wasn't mean about it, but he wasn't nice about it either.
It was just a dry chicken sandwich that tasted vaguely of Bud Light.
You know, so that's... People want to travel that far just to film my autistic ass. I must be doing something right. So people are going to have mixed feelings about the
Hear ye.
documentary. They might have made me look like a huge alcoholic
Here,
asshole.
if we get to the goal, I'll shock my neck. I'll torture my neck. If we
Okay.
get to the goal.
You'll torture your neck?
Yes, I'll torture
I
my
thought the
neck.
deal was we kick you off when we get to the goal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Do we shock your neck and then kick you off?
Yep, that's
Sure,
what we're
we can
doing.
do that.
Somebody help us with this goal. We need this goal. This goal's got to happen.
Alright, but I do that to myself all the fucking time, so it's really no different. And it doesn't come off as intentional because my heart's in the right place, but it gets misconstrued, would be the word. So I'm making a bunch of more handmade wands for Etsy.
Cobra and I both have
This
heart
one just
issues.
called to me and I'm
His
done
is
getting-
misconstrued. Mine is failing.
I have my own supply, but this
Oh
one
my
just
God.
called to me for some odd reason. As a wand maker, you wouldn't understand it.
You wouldn't understand what I go through every day as a wand maker. I'm down in the shit, man. I'm in the pit every day, whittling wood,
I'm not-
finding stones, jewels, quartz, pitting them in, blessing them, calling big time gods to bless these wands before I sell them out to you on Etsy.
I'm not going to sell
Bless
this because the principles of magic and all that, just leave it at that. There's a lot of factors that go into it. When you're making a crystal wand, you don't want to drill the hole too big, you know. But that's the only thing I'm going to say on YouTube about that because I don't want to give away company secrets. We got some
Company
peach
secrets?
monster, some cherry Coca-Cola,
Monster with
and a
Coke.
splash of Crown Royal Peach 21 and up. Cheers.
21 and up, tubes.
How do we rate this drink combo?
It's not one of his
Tame?
worst.
This one's like tame compared to previous ones.
Yeah.
If I was already drunk, I would totally drink this.
If you were just bad shit
If I was already wasted, I was like, hell yeah, give me one right now. Come on, Cobus, make me one too. Let's go, dude.
I can do the drinks way easier than I could do the food.
I gave them plenty of directions to go to the casino we were going to. Like, turn here, turn there, please and thank you. Maybe they didn't hear me. I don't know what the deal is with that, but
He's
it is
very
what it
butthurt.
is.
There we go.
Damn.
Well, I think he feels a little betrayed. There's a little bit of betrayal there.
Yeah.
Now, what did the witnesses say?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They all agreed on one thing, his description. It was Egghead, all right.
The rottest head of them all.
With a name like Egghead, what do you even expect, bro? What do you
It's already
expect? Of
added.
course he's gonna be a douchebag. Who the
I
fuck
love
calls
it.
themselves that? I mean, seriously, I have an egghead, but I would never fucking call myself that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Are you stupid? You gotta be. You gotta be fucking dumb. You gotta be a special kind of dumb to do that, bro.
There's already fucking edits. Oh, I love it.
Egghead, when did you
Yes.
start deciding to call yourself Egghead?
I think from the time DP started calling me Humpty Dumpty, and then somehow it changed over to being
Yeah.
called Egghead, and I just went with it.
So you didn't call yourself Egghead.
No,
so
no.
Jared was wrong.
That was a nickname that was given
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
And then
I'll be
it
right
changed,
back.
It started with Humpty Dumpty, and then it at some point got changed to Egghead, and I just went with it.
Remember Egghead 2?
Oh God. Yeah, I remember when we did the whole Egghead Alpha, Egghead Beta arc back in the day.
How did that make you feel?
It was like, okay, whatever, you can do whatever you want. I'll just still make videos on my end, do whatever. I don't even know what he's doing up to these days.
Did you know that you would beat him out on Drunken Peasants as the Egghead Alpha?
I guess so. I didn't think it was because I think the original crew was still around when that time happened.
Yeah. Did you guys have like a face-off or something? And did you lose that?
Yeah, I got like fucking wasted because it was.
And
like
you became Egghead Beta, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I just like to go back in memory lane a little bit.
You fan. How's your heart dealing?
Oh, okay. I went to a doctor visit today, and the doctor was just like, "We're gonna get you into more visits. So I'm just gonna die a slow, painful death, or live a long, loving, happy life. I don't know which one happens first.
Ugh. I mean, God. I mean, at least they were able to catch it. Yeesh.
Yeah, my heart was at 17% power, which is pretty bad. So, they had to catch it, or else I would have just become a
you would have been
corpse.
You would have just dropped.
I'd have been a corpse frigid. So, Egghead,
yes.
Are you gonna go watch Barbie and Oppenheimer tomorrow?
Probably go watch Oppenheimer first.
You're gonna do Oppenheimer first?
Yeah.
I think
I'm so intrigued as how well people are taken to the Barbie movie.
Oh, the Barbie movie is going to be the better movie, I think.
Really?
I'm pretty sure Barbie's going to be better than Oppenheimer. I'm going to watch Barbie first, I think. Then I'm going to watch Oppenheimer. And then I think I'm going to watch Barbie again.
Oh, wow.
The Barbie movie is written and directed by Greta Gerwig and her husband, Noah Baumbach.
Oh, wow.
I heard there's a lot of cameos in this film.
Yeah.
So I think Barbie, Oppenheimer, and then Barbie again is the way to go. I'm not sure about that though.
Yeah, that can definitely work. I'm just like so intrigued because like with Nolan, he never uses CGI or never uses CGI in his films, and I'm just like wondering how the hell are they gonna recreate the first atom bomb?
You don't think they would record it somewhere?
Well, they probably did like record like out in the desert, but I don't think he would actually use an actual fucking atom bomb.
Why not?
Maybe he did. I don't know because I feel like we would have like at least heard something about.
You think he doesn't use CGI?
I mean, like he probably does. Like he probably doesn't use like CGI in all of his films, but like he uses it when he needs to.
Have you seen that Dream one he did?
Inception?
Yeah, did you see Inception?
Mm-hmm.
Was there no CGI in that?
I mean, I did like the rotating hull, but that one then it was like it was revealed that was an actual practical set.
Ooh.
I think probably like the CGI part was like the whole what it looked like the town was being folded over. It's gonna be we got two good movies coming out this weekend, and I'm excited for it. Despite what's going on,
everybody in chat is talking about how they're gonna watch Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
Justin says I'm gonna watch Oppenheimer tomorrow and Barbie on Friday.
That could work.
I feel like I want to watch Barbie first before kids get out of school, but then I remember it's summer.
Yeah.
The kids are probably in school, so I might go to a 21 and up movie theater.
Oh damn.
But they're gonna like want me to order food there, and I don't know what I can get on the food with my new low sodium diet, dude. I have to figure out what sort of food I can get, Egghead, if I go to the Mount Lake 9 Cinema. At the Mount Lake Cinebar, Egghead, to watch Barbie and Oppenheimer back to back to back with no kids around.
That'd be crazy.
Here's a 5.
Thank you. Tip train. Let's do it.
I hate that I have to be the one that starts it off, but where the hell are y'all?
Don't hate it, Egghead. We like to take your money to kick you out and zap you.
I know, right?
I'm such a little whipping boy.
The whole thing with on TikTok where the girls act like they're eating the like donos because you can donate like ice cream is money, like you know what I mean,
gang.
Right? Yeah, it's so dumb.
They're acting like fucking AIs.
Crunchy corn, yum! Kitty paws.
Kitty paws.
They literally have made bank doing this shit.
Yeah, it's like kind of brilliant, actually.
Pumpkin yum!
Pumpkin yum.
So spicy.
So
spicy. And everything they're doing doesn't, like, you don't need to be a native English speaker to watch this either. So they're probably getting little emojis from like everybody in every country all over the world, putting their little pennies in. So the girl says, so is this 25 times, what is that? A dumbbell or something? A barbell?
I'm not sure how much money that is, but the emojis.
Each thing has a different amount. So like, they're making bank, dude.
There we go.
the egg.
We're not there yet.
Kick the egg. Kick the
Get
egg.
us to 100%.
$12.34 away from Ben having another drinky drank.
Yep.
To the people who've always said I brought down the show, now's your chance to get rid of me.
Now's your time.
Ice cream, yum. Kitty balls. Ice cream, yum.
Spicy.
Once we get to 350, I'll leave. I promise. Stinky swear. No spicy.
So weird.
Hot dog, yum.
It was National Hot Dog Day today.
Hot dog, yum. Donuts, yum.
I've seen different creators do this type of shit on TikTok, and it's fucking weird.
Yeah, I think TikTok is weird.
Now, a lot of you might be thinking, this is horrible that Cherry Crush Girl is annoying me. I wish somebody would shut her up. You can go to the hub.com, and you can see her mouth shut with a big weenie.
I got the soccer ball.
The girl on the left looks like she's fucking having a fucking seizure.
Yeah.
Ice cream. Ooh, hot, that burns. Ooh, hot, that burns. Rose.
This is
Zeus.
See,
what the fuck?
You see these girls do it, and you're like, oh, the other girl was actually had more skill.
Yeah. Like I saw one today where literally just a live streamer like this was just going off on people every time they donate.
I got the ball. Rose. Whoa. Rose.
What in God's name?
A rose. A rose.
A rose bang everything. What the fuck is going on?
They're being electrocuted. Look at all the electrocutions that are coming through.
Oh my God.
Bad, amazing.
This one is the one that's been going off crazy.
Pinky doll.
This one is the one that started it all.
Gang.
Ice cream so good. Take a seat.
Pinky Doll, also known as Ice Cream So Good, refers to the TikTok live streams that were labeled a part of MPC streaming trend in July 2023. Pinky Doll's live streams gained notoriety due to the widespread perception that they were strange or psychotic. The earliest still accessible TikTok on Pinky Doll's account was uploaded on December 24th, 2022. A majority of her early videos were of her twerking. Continuing into 2023, Pinky Doll's account grew a large following. Sometime in January 2023, Pinky Doll started to go live on TikTok. Soon after, users started to
This is what she does.
Record
She
her live
pops
stream
popcorn in her hair curler and then eats it, right?
and repost
I
them.
don't know.
First
Her
known to
hair
do so
straightener.
was TikToker Lingo Talks. More screen recordings of Pinky Doll's live streams. For instance, TikToker Rohan11320 posted a Pinky Doll live with text reading, NPC Live.
Yeah.
On July 10th, 2023, Twitter user AITSBrightBrett one tweeted a screen recording of a Pinky Doll live Captioning it, I was just scrolling TikTok and I just want to say, some of you bitches are literally psychotic. In the video, Pinky Doll is seen saying ice cream so good and licking the air repeatedly, among other repetitive sounds and catchphrases.
Thank you, CR. Thank you, Kiki. Ice cream so good. It was you, Max, Pop, amazing. Ice cream so good. Ugh.
And this bitch is right in the money.
Do you think, huh? Woof.
User MuseWendy tweeted a similar screen recording of Pinky Doll live streaming, captioning it, "Anytime I accidentally happen upon a TikTok live, I feel like I am watching the world end."
Thank you, CR.
Both aforementioned tweets inspired.
How far is this from Idiocracy? Like, do you think Idiocracy didn't go far enough when they predicted the future of how stupid we were?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think they expected this.
Resulting in more viral reposts and discourse. More screen recordings were reposted.
It's boobs and it's human interaction. Like every person that sends in their little emoji.
Drink Ben.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a Ben war.
Woo.
Like every one of these people that sends in their little emoji is getting a minute human interaction out of it.
Yep.
This is like playing a slot machine. It's a slot machine.
To Twitter in the days that followed.
Good. Coconut so good. Coconut so good. Balloon. Grab.
A beautiful bird.
True.
Indeed. Look at that beautiful bird. Yeah. Yeah.
Play that beautiful bean footage.
Ice cream so good. Oh, thank you, user. I love you.
It's so fucking crazy.
It is weird. Very, very strange.
When I did the $2 dono thing the other day, I don't know if it was last episode or the day before, to do this, as I was reading off the donos, I realized how much harder it is to do this than just copying it. And then seeing those two girls try and copy and fail miserably, I'm like, okay, I don't feel so bad that I wasn't as good at it. But this takes more intelligence and skill than I want to give it credit for, and that sucks.
What else we got? We got...
Sapphire says this is what DP has to do for donations now. You know full well if YouTube integrated emojis, Ben and I would start doing this immediately.
Oh my god!
I thought. Well, I didn't
drink so good.
I thought about
another shot.
I thought about doing streaming on TikTok, but not like this. But you got to get 1,000 followers. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if I tried, I could get 1,000 followers on there.
Alcohol's so good.
This is
Play-Doh, no. Alcohol's so good.
15 other people face multiple charges for their alleged role in a so-called false elector scheme following the 2020 election.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel made the announcement just a few hours ago. Fox 17's Marissa Oberly joins us live in the newsroom with what we know so far. Marissa.
Michael and Josh, the Attorney General says those 16 people sent false documents to the federal government in an attempt to award Michigan's electoral votes to President Donald Trump.
Electoral votes?
Electoral.
The electoral.
Than Joe Biden, who won the state by over 150,000 votes. The 16 people charged include 2 from West Michigan, Wyoming Mayor Kent Vanderwood and Rose Rook, who, according to a post from the Van Buren County Republican Party's Facebook page, served as a presidential elector for Michigan's 6th district at the time. Each defendant faces charges which range from conspiracy to commit forgery to election law forgery and carry jail sentences.
A lot of the fraud came from the Trump side.
Could keep them behind
all
bars,
projection from them. Every time they bitched, moaned, and complained about fucking election fraud, it's all coming from their fucking side.
Yeah.
Convicted.
But if the Dems were stuffing the ballots, they would stuff them to make it look like the Trump side was guilty and not themselves.
Alleges the
Think
group
about it.
secretly met in the basement of the Michigan Republican Party headquarters on December 14th, 2020, and signed their names to multiple certificates which stated they were, quote, the duly elected and qualified electors for president and vice president of the United States of America for the state of Michigan. She released a pre-recorded video statement about the case. Take a listen to part of what Nessel said.
These defendants may have believed the now long debunked myths of vote tampering or ballot dumps. They may have felt compelled to follow the call to action from a president they held fealty to. They may have even genuinely believed that this was their patriotic duty. But none of those reasons or feelings provide legal justification to violate the law and upend our Constitution and our nation's traditions of representative government, self-determination, and a government by the people.
And the city of Wyoming just released a brief statement a few minutes ago reading, quote, we are aware of the charges against Kent Vanderwood. These actions
That's a villain name. That's a villain name.
Kent Vanderwood?
Kent Vanderwood is a villain name.
Damn you, Vanderwood!
I had no idea that there was a city in Michigan named Wyoming. Wyoming, Michigan.
Take place in his capacity as
Hey, how are we going to make Michigan any worse? I don't know.
Put Wyoming in it.
Put a little Wyoming in it. Okay, there you go. It sucks.
city official.
And then what? And then what? Are we just going to let some guy named Kent Vanderwood destroy our election?
Yeah.
Why not?
He was
It's
the mayor of Wyoming.
in Michigan.
Yeah.
Why not?
Charges. There is a legal process that needs to be followed, end quote. Now, some of the other
Do we know the
people
name of the mayor of Casper, Wyoming? Is he got a name as cool as Kent Vanderwood?
Well, we do know because he was in the documentary. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if we ever caught his name.
Well, they say his name in
We don't know it.
I mean, I could find it out really easily. Okay, so
I could too.
Casper, Wyoming.
I'm trying to type it out.
And
Ray Pacheco is what I'm getting right now.
no, that's not his name. It's
Okay.
Bruce something.
Bruce Nell.
Yep. There you go.
Which is, interesting. We say Kent Vanderwood, the mayor of Wyoming, Michigan, has a villain name. Kent is Superman's last name, and Bruce is Batman's first name.
Yeah, there you go.
We got Bruce over here, Bruce Nell. I don't know. Is Bruce Nell a bad guy name? I don't think it
Wyoming,
sounds like a very
Michigan.
good-
Wyoming, Michigan is in Kent County, Michigan, also.
Oh my
God! The guy's named after the own county.
in this case include Mishon Maddock, who served as the co-chair of the Michigan Republican Party a few years ago. This, of course, is a developing story, and we will continue to follow it and have updates tonight on Fox 17 News at 10 and online at fox17online.com. Reporting in the newsroom tonight, Marisa Oberle, Fox 17 News.
It's all raining down of indictments and felony charges. I love this for them.
DeSantis is defending Trump from the January 6th probe.
GOP presidential candidates are weighing in on the news. Donald Trump is the target of the special counsel investigation into January 6th. Speaking
That's
to
because he's
CNN.
afraid of pissing off Trump's voting base. So
He needs them.
even though this would be a good time to attack Trump if you're running against him, not in today's politics, today's Republican Party.
And Ron DeSantis called the
And he
investigation
can't be Trump's vice president, right?
Nope.
Because they have to be from different states.
Yes.
Yep.
criminalization of political differences. He also hinted that the party and the country need to move on from Donald Trump.
You have a situation where the Department of Justice, FBI, have been weaponized against people they don't like. I want to focus on looking forward. I don't want to look back. I do not want to see him.
The top candidate that just blasts Trump is Chris Christie. Like he's he's actually polling pretty well in some individual states. Not as good as Trump, but he's like nipping at DeSantis's heels in some of these other states. Not nationally, but in these specific states that are key to winning the
I hope he
nomination.
doesn't get charged. I don't think it'll be good for the country. But at the same time, I've got to focus on looking forward, and that's what we're going to do.
CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe is traveling with the Florida governor. He joins me now from Columbia, South Carolina. Ed, former President Trump attacks DeSantis regularly. Tuesday, he attacked him at least on insurance rates in Florida and his handling of COVID. But in that exclusive interview with CNN, the Florida governor was pretty gentle about this possible next indictment. What does that suggest to you?
Well, I noticed that as well, John, and I actually found it peculiar because just before he taped that interview with CNN,
something crazy happened in North Carolina. There's a giant warehouse owned by Pfizer, the pharmaceutical company, and it was just destroyed by a tornado. It was like completely torn to shreds by a tornado.
Yeesh.
I'm looking at pictures of it. It's insane.
Does that become like a medical hazard? Is there like
I don't think
pills
so.
and stuff that hit the air with that?
I have no idea. I mean, yeah, there's probably stuff in there that got thrown around.
he had done an event where he was discussing some of his thoughts on military policy and then took questions from reporters who pressed him on the former president's legal issues and asked whether what he did on January 6th was wrong. And he said this.
There's a difference between
like there was
being brought up
Cocaine
on
Bear,
criminal-
right? There was Cocaine Bear where the bear took the cocaine and went and attacked everybody high in cocaine. Is this going to become Pill NATO?
Charges.
Or a
and
tornado
doing
runs
things like,
through
for
a pill
example,
factory and starts dosing people with all these freaking pills?
I think it was shown how he was in the White House and didn't do anything while things were going on. He should have come out more forcefully. Of course that. But to try to criminalize that's a different issue entirely.
I'll
So, Ed,
attack
you've
you,
covered-
but I also want your view of what your voter base. Yeesh. They're eating each other alive, but they're not consistent.
Governor DeSantis, when he launched, even you were with him even before he launched. As you look at his campaign now, since that period, the average of polls, if you look at them, show that in this Republican race, the Florida governor has dropped relative to the frontrunner, Donald Trump. So since you've been watching him, since he's announced, has the way he's campaigned different? Is it different? Is it the same? Is he doing anything to manage this fact that the polls aren't going in the direction he would like?
A few different things are happening, John. He is beginning to talk to non-Fox, non-Newsmax television outlets. That CNN interview today, notable because it's his first one with that outlet since he began.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone stands a chance against Trump right now. Hopefully, I really wish the dream scenario where DeSantis gets the nomination or anybody else, and then Trump runs third party. I would love that so much. I wish I could see that.
Really good.
Yeah,
That would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, because then those debates, there'd be three. Because Trump would make it. We would have three people in the major presidential debates and stuff.
I just hope Trump wins so 4 years from now Biden can get reelected.
Biden's not gonna
Biden's
make
gonna
it.
be a fucking skeleton by the time 4 more years after that.
There was this sailor that was stranded at sea for 3 months, and he stayed alive, and some people randomly saw him and rescued him. But
I heard about this on the radio this morning.
He was drinking rainwater and eating fish, and he survived for and he had his dog with him too.
An Australian sailor is
today.
back on dry land after 3 months stranded at sea. The boat that rescued him arrived back in Mexico today.
54-year-old Timothy Shattuck and his dog Bella set sail from Mexico to French Polynesia. A few weeks into the trip, a storm damaged his boat and wiped out the electronics. The crew of a Mexican tuna boat found him and his dog. Here they are. They were in their boat in the Pacific Ocean, 1,200 miles from land. And they were brought on board and then given food and water.
Look, to the captain and this fishing company that saved my life. I mean, what do you say? I'm just so grateful.
He looks like Castaway, you know, 'cause he hasn't had a haircut or a shave in 3 months.
Yeah,
I'm alive and I really didn't think I'd make it, you know. So thank you so much.
That does not look like 3 months worth of scruff. Like he looks like he's been gone for 6 years.
I think he had a beard going even before he was stranded, but it got bigger. It got bigger. He says he and his dog survived on raw fish and rainwater. How resourceful.
Damn.
He avoided sunburn by sheltering under his boat's canopy. A doctor says he is well and he is in good spirits and, yeah, looking very thin.
And the dog survived, too.
Yep.
And he didn't have to eat the dog.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much better it is to be a castaway with a doggy than a frickin' soccer ball?
Yeah, no Wilson.
What else we got? We got, this is crazy. An iron worker fell 150 feet from a bridge and survived.
Ooh.
Because there was water underneath. You know?
Right.
It's the Ambassador Bridge. It's the bridge that connects Detroit to Canada. It's pretty big. I've driven on it before.
This family is desperate for help. They just witnessed a man plummet from a bridge. Thanks to them, Good Samaritans were able to reach the man who miraculously survived the fall from the bridge, which stands 150 feet above the water. Amber Cogliano has details.
It's a race to save a man who has just fallen off a bridge.
I see him! I see him!
This is the Ambassador
It's
Bridge
a leprechaun.
that connects Detroit to Canada. An iron worker fell.
Yeah, you can see him fall.
150
Oh my
feet
God.
into the Detroit River.
Jesus.
Look very closely. That black dot is the moment he fell, and you can see a splash of water. Will he survive? A family nearby saw it all
my
happen.
God.
You see a little girl pulling on a door. A relative is with her.
You see somebody? Yeah, he right there. Somebody just fell. He was working on the bridge.
We heard really loud banging on our side door and people yelling that somebody had fallen from the bridge.
Captain Sam Buchanan, who works for a boating company, rushed into action.
They were pointing to help us. They're like, there he is, there he is.
I see him. Get him, get him, get him. Right there. They got him. They got him.
He really wasn't swimming. He was just bobbing in the river and he had no life jacket on. Once we got him out.
I'm surprised he wasn't like knocked out from the impact because the water feels really hard when you fall that far onto
We put a
it.
blanket on him and just reassured him.
The man, identified as 27-year-old Spencer Baker, was in a daze. Did he say anything to you?
He just kept asking why was he wet and what happened to him over and over again. I said, you fell off a bridge.
The boat makes it back to shore with Baker. Very lucky.
Why am I wet? I used to be in a fraternity. I've woken up wet before.
Yeah.
What did you guys do to me?
Live.
Yeah, he's breathing.
He's since been released from the hospital after suffering
Look at that bruise. Oh.
Is that Egghead?
a few broken bones and a lot of
How
bruises.
many versions of me are there?
Is
that Egghead partaking in Jared's favorite pastime?
Oh
I was just thinking that this is it, man. My life's over. I'm never gonna get to see my daughter again.
How about this? The guys who rescued him are not from the Coast Guard, and they're not first responders. They deliver mail to ships going up and down the river.
The people that really deserve the credit were those folks in the park that saw him fall and did something.
Somebody just got him.
Good job. The harbor.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Good job. Did it hurt when you fell? Fell from the Michigan Canadian Bridge?
Employees from wearing masks.
Like people want to see show their smile.
What? I love to see smiling Red State burger flippers.
Eating a place that was originally from California.
Take off your mask.
Look at this.
Take it
Believe
off.
it or not, Death Valley National Park is attracting visitors amid this ongoing heat wave.
People want to go hang out at the hottest place on earth while it's in the middle of a heat wave.
Right?
Dumb
It is
ways
said
to die.
to be the lowest, hottest, and driest spot on Earth. Temperatures could climb past 130 degrees this week and potentially breaking the record of 134 degrees set in 1913.
Look, I love all the risk of climbing Mount Everest without any of the incline, okay?
It's pretty
The
bad.
landscape on the California-Nevada border attracts plenty of visitors, over 1 million a year. Although in extreme heat, most people make it only a short distance to any site in the park before returning to their air-conditioned vehicle.
Hello.
Yeah, they said the record was 140 degrees at one point.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I had a friend who grew up in Death Valley, and it would be pretty insane. But people do live out there. Like his dad was an illegal immigrant, so they lived out in Death Valley, and he would like. There's ways to survive, so it's not terribly insane.
People don't live
but
in
it
the.
does suck.
People don't live in the national park. They live near it, but they don't live in
Right.
Death Valley. Death Valley is like
He lived in like Death Valley. Like he was hiding out in there, out in the friggin'
But it's a
sand.
dry heat.
He grew up there.
Okay.
Hiding out from immigration.
Oh, God.
Retail theft is rampant in San Francisco. We walked into a store and easily spotted and recorded shoplifters in action. Now some retailers are going to new lengths to protect
happens
their
everywhere, dude.
products. KTVU's Christian Captain joins us now from a Walgreens in the city's Richmond district that has taken the drastic step of using a chain to lock up the food there. Christian.
Yeah, pretty incredible, Julie. The workers and customers here at this
We
Walgreens
learned
say
it
that they
from
are
the
frustrated.
Prater Willies who had to lock their refrigerators to keep themselves from eating them into a morbid, obese state.
We're at 94.5% of the way to our goal. Please help us out with another tip train so we can keep things moving.
At the amount
Let's bring it home.
There it is.
of rampant theft that goes on, and now the shop, as you said, has taken the somewhat unprecedented step of simply chaining off an area there. That is their latest attempt to try to thwart the thieves.
Customers at this Walgreens at 16th Avenue and Geary Boulevard say this is a distressingly common sight. Shoplifters making their way through the aisles, helping themselves to whatever they want, then walking out.
I have seen people actively grabbing stuff off the shelves and walking out the door.
Now, this Walgreens has taken a drastic step, chaining up the refrigerated and frozen foods. The only way to get any items inside, ringing for assistance. Customers say they're frustrated that it's come to this.
It is terrible because you have to wait, you have to ask for a clerk to come and unlock anything that you want to buy, anything, including a soda.
In the span of less than 2 hours, we saw 4 confirmed shoplifting incidents. Thieves making off with drinks, food, and stationery supplies.
He don't
In a
even give a damn.
Walgreens said retail crime is one of the top challenges facing their industry, and that the company is focused on safety. The company says it continues to take preventative measures to safely deter theft and still deliver the best experience it can for customers. We spoke with a San Francisco police sergeant.
Oh, yeah. There are places in Seattle where people just kind of like walk in and steal shit, too. Like the Target in downtown Seattle gets hit all the time.
Damn.
The Safeways by my house, I have 2 Safeways pretty close to my house, shopping grocery stores. The one I would go to all the time, an hour before closing, there would be just like raids of homeless people with like giant carts. They would bring in their own wheelbarrows and fill them up with stuff. Big old duffel bags. They would fill them up with stuff and just run out with so much stuff.
Yeah.
It was obvious what was happening. There was like the guy at the counter would just sit there and he would like call them names or whatever every time they run out. They finally closed the store down 2 hours earlier than they usually did. But the other Safeway that's like down the road stayed open an hour later once they closed it down 2 hours earlier there. And they started going to the other place and started ransacking the other place.
My God.
Who works undercover, so he asked us to not show his face. He says ultimately it's up to the retailer to protect their goods and hire security if needed. He said oftentimes Walgreens will call the police and only ask that the items be returned and will then decline to press charges.
But then what happens is the Walgreens corporation, that means the employees will have to show up to court and testify. And I think that's where the particular problem is. It's tying up their employees to go to court on these, on these retail thefts.
Individual situation.
Walgreens isn't the only retailer facing a shoplifting problem. This Safeway on Webster Street in San Francisco joined with others in Oakland and San Jose to install these glass gates where shoppers have to scan their receipts.
The Fred Meyer in Redmond, they set up gates. They're not this sophisticated. This is like at a subway station. It almost looks like, but they do have gates that they just installed in the Fred Meyer in Redmond that are like deterrents.
Seats to exit. Safeway released a statement saying the grocery chain recently made the change at select Safeway stores in the Bay Area to maintain a safe and welcoming shopping experience for customers and associates, given the increasing amount of theft. Some shoppers said they didn't like the new gates. Others say they understand why they're a necessity.
It was different. I thought it was more like an airport kind of like, or, you know, it's a security job, you know, but if it does the job to keep shoplifters from shoplifting, okay.
Another common security measure these stores have implemented is only having one way in and out to monitor who comes and goes. That means customers have to either backtrack to the entrance where they first entered, or, as in the case of this Walgreens, use the stairs. We're live in San Francisco. Christian Cafton, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
So, Christian, I'm curious, you were there with your photographer. How long were you there before you two actually spotted people shoplifting and obviously not being bothered?
I can't remember if it's CVS or Walgreens. There's one in downtown Seattle, and they have like all these cameras and like flashing red lights and stuff to be like, because that place gets robbed all the time too.
I was gonna start live streaming at Safeway, catching all the robbers and stuff, like IRL streaming. But then I was like, I don't want them knowing who I am.
Right. That wouldn't be a good
I don't
idea.
want to stand out.
Yeah. Check this out.
Thanks for joining us at noon. I'm Vanessa Murphy. We start with breaking news first from our 8 News Now investigators. Metro Police confirming they searched a home Monday as part of the ongoing investigation into the death of Tupac Shakur, the rapper who was shot and killed 1 block off the Las Vegas Strip in September of 1996. Sources say detectives served the search warrant at a home in Henderson near Interstate 11 and Wagon Wheel Drive. No one is in custody at this time. We'll keep you posted as we learn more.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought that was a completely cold case.
Yeah.
I think people have been publicly bragging about it.
That's so
on
dumb.
YouTube channels, because I've recently saw a guy talking about being Tupac's killer on because there's a huge subsection of YouTube now where old gangsters get together and talk about gang life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that there was a guy that was claiming he did it. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Who knows? Who knows?
95% of the way to the goal.
So close.
Someone do us a solid here and help us reach this goal. Please.
We're so close.
So close.
It's so far away.
Here's T-Bob's proof that Elisa Jordana was born a man.
Nice. Is it her penis?
0.1001.
Yeah,
Hammer time.
Wasn't that guy Gay that sung that song? It's Hammer Time. That guy gave us a $3 bill. Talk about a Hunter Biden.
Is he talking about MC Hammer?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Twin brother.
Wait, MC Hammer is Hunter Biden's twin brother?
Oh my God.
Yeah, they look exactly
Lisa
alike.
Jordana is a man.
How do you know she's a man? I don't say.
We got pictures to prove she has an atom.
He's checked her. He's checked it. Show the proof, man.
I got the proof. She has an atom.
Show it.
I'll share it. Where you at? Oh, you ain't on computer.
Pictures.
She has an Adam's apple, and I happen to enjoy Adam's apple pie.
Was when she was 19 years old. She posted it herself. She
I wonder why Trumpster Bob's audio is so crackly.
has a clear and decisive Adam's apple. And then a second picture, Mo, of when she's in her 30s.
But then you said Kelly had an Adam's apple. You said
Adam's apple shaved when she's 20. I'll send you that picture.
You said Kelly was a man.
And then I'll send you a picture in her 30s when she's holding her
Then you
head
said
back.
Kelly was a man.
She's holding her head back. She
Then
posted
you told me. Then you made a video
and
saying
still
Kelly
she
was
was
a
a
man.
clear and decisive Adam's apple, even though
God,
you could tell she had it shaved.
Stop it, Bob.
And I'll send you a picture of her hand. Her hand looks just like this, Mo. I suckered her to put her hand up, and she didn't. I got a picture of it.
Oh, shit.
There we go.
Cheers. $19 away from Ben having another drink and Egghead getting shocked and kicked off the show.
Damn right.
That's worth $19 in itself.
A perfect ending to a perfect episode.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Gotta get some of that Adam's apple bottom pie.
Has he ever shown proof of anything that he says?
No.
Yes, remember when he opened up Ocasio-Cortez's vagina to prove that there
The ring finger is a lot longer than the number one finger, just like a man's hand. Not only that, I'll send you a picture where I go in there and I measure out the width of her head and the width of her shoulders, and I will compare it.
Why does it sound like he's underwater?
He probably has a codec issue with his phone.
To a woman sitting right next to her, and I'll do the exact same. I guarantee you she's got the dimensions of a man, not a woman. She's 100% a man. She was born with the XY chromosome. She had a sex change done, both top and bottom, when she was 20 years old.
Bob got the
This is what he had to create this to cope with the fact that she didn't want to date him when he was in love with her.
Yeah. Like, cause I love how he brings like Howard Stern into like the whole storyline that he's built for her.
Yeah, it's batshit crazy. Well, I mean, she did work for Howard Stern, but he didn't have anything to do with Howard Stern.
I would laugh my ass off because I sometimes listen to his show while I'm working, and I would laugh my fucking ass off if one day just randomly he would call into the fucking show. I would laugh my fucking ass off.
If T-Bob called Howard?
Bird?
Yes.
There we go.
That's a double hit because we also got an extra 20 coming in. Egghead,
yes.
It's time.
You over
Shock
to T-Bob
and
up.
knock.
Fucking Nazi shickos.
Fuck Nazi shickos. Shout out to your dad, Swagnor.
There we go. Lovely sickos, bitchos. Okay.
Light this egg up.
Yep, because all the people who hate me, they love me. 3, 2, 1.
Bye, Egghead.
Na 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 na. Hey. Goodbye. Little zap and slap.
He's gone. We got rid of him.
The proof that Trumpster Bob had was just him talking bullshit again, right?
Right.
There was no proof.
No. He's talking about
he's
talking about the Adam's apple and the hands, but he doesn't even show anything.
I would like to go bobbing for Adam's apples if Elisa Jordana had one. Because I'm a sicko.
A shicko.
I'm a shicko. Ladies and gentlemen, we kicked Egghead off. How do you feel? One in the chat if you feel good.
Yeah, and we're going to wrap it up in a minute here. And then we'll be back on Thursday, the 27th. We will be back. So we will see all of you then. And yeah, it's a time. Check out the audio version of the show. All of you should go check out the audio version. Even if put it on in the background while you're doing something else, like while you're cleaning or if you're gaming or doing anything else, put it on in the background, listen to the bonus show, listen to the show again if you're so inclined. It's free, but it helps us out tremendously. Like, it's free for you, but it helps us a lot. So please go check it out. Go to Apple Podcasts or go to Spotify or go to any of those audio platforms and do that, please. It's very helpful. And I notice, since I've been talking about it, that it's increased in viewership. So, or not listenership, I should say. So, yeah, we are about to wrap it all up here. Thank you to Dusty and Dusty's owner for supporting the show for all these years. Dusty is a beautiful bird.
Beautiful bird.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Beautiful bird.
Wipe front to back.
Yeah, because you don't want a bladder infection. And we are now leaving. Good night, everybody.